Hello, can anybody hear me? As usual, I am having trouble with my YouTube. Every time I thanks. Every time I program it, it then says I'm not encoded and that I can't go live. So So next time I do it, I'm going to sneak up on you. I'm just not going to tell you. I'm not going to give you any warning. I'm just going to sneak up on you. So hi everybody. Can't go through all the names. There's too many of you. And I've got my crochet, my pattern, and I've got my yarn, and I've not got my hook. So I may have to leave you for a second while I get a hook. If I can read what size it says it is. Without my glasses. Oh, hello from Texas, Australia, Massachusetts, everybody. And I've lost my glasses. That's a good start. Oh, there they are. No, I can't see you because these are reading glasses. So what do I need? A size G, 450 and a 650. Right. You would think I'd never done this pattern before, wouldn't you? But oh, apparently I didn't use any of them last time I did it. I used a 5mm. It's a good job I write these things down. Have you missed much? No, you haven't, because I couldn't get started as usual. I'm just a duffer when it comes to anything to do with. Can you just entertain yourself a minute while I go and get a hook? I can't sit for 2 hours without anything to do. I did that last time. So you just have to look at my show for a minute while I come back. Ooh-wee. Oh. La, la, la. I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm back. You're always looking at all me. Me rubbish on top of my unit there, aren't you? You're not even looking at me shawl. Oh. Oh, God, you missed me. I like to be missed. Oh. And something else I'd forgotten besides my crochet, I'd forgotten my coffee. Can't do a thing, can we, Zoe, without a cup of coffee? Yay. Oh, you're crocheting a scarf. Well, I'm starting another of those. Oh, you can't see it because the picture's too small. Oh, no, there it is. Another of those. People have said they couldn't see it on Etsy, but I'm sure it's still there. That's right, you ignore the boys. Safer that way. Your mother told you, didn't you, to ignore the boys? Your husband didn't go and buy what, dear? Have I missed something? Oh, right. I must have missed something, Lena, because I didn't know what your husband didn't buy you. Oh, coffee. Right. Oh, no. Isn't that grounds for a divorce? Grounds, that's coffee. See, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Yeah, I think that's grounds for a divorce, isn't it, if he doesn't get you any coffee. Oh wow, you're going to start on your first show. Congratulations. I'm nearly at the end of my show, so I've only got the fringing to do, which is why I didn't bring it with me. Yeah, you strangle him, Lena. That's one fella less in the world, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with you. Didn't your husband forget to buy coffee one day, Zoe? He has to be home till he come back. Where are you going? Yeah, he made a really bad mistake, didn't he, your other half, Zoe? Fancy forgetting coffee. I get mine delivered, so I've got a little man that comes to the door. He's from Ringtons. My son says he charges all the odds for the coffee. I said, yeah, but at least I know I'm going to get coffee because he brings it to the door every fortnight. Oh my goodness, you've got an 8-week-old little boy. And you're still up. You're not asleep. Oh, to buy coffee, you've got a train ride for 20 minutes and a bus for 10 minutes. Is that to get something like Starbucks or something like that? Yeah. Dominic, do we remember you? Were you a good boy or were you a pain last week? Oh gosh, if you have a baby, it's countryside living and no shop. In that case, you do have to divorce that husband because if he's forgotten coffee. Oh. You have to pick up his dad from work later, so you're going to have to wake him up, or will he just be going in his car seat? That was the only time my son used to sleep, when we stuck him in the car. The rest of the time he was little Beeson. Oh, I've got somebody asking what's a Vader here. What are you going on about, Dominic? 80-degree weather. I'm not sure what we had. I don't think it was much. It was a little cold, but it wasn't freezy cold. It was just a little cold. Now, shall I start my little sweater off, or will I go wrong while I'm talking to you? I'm using ice yarns, and it's the one that Kelly doesn't like, I think. I think it's the fragrant, antibacterial fragrant. But I honestly think that it's been in my stash room quite a while, so now it no longer stinks like toilet freshener. Oh, it does a little bit. It's not that bad, though. Maybe I don't have such a keen nose that Kelly has. Right, front and back make 2. That's what I like to hear. Starting at the waist with the larger hook. Yes, what I am. I've got my large hook. Oh, yeah, I should have got a larger hook still. I have one time they caught it at the customs, and I had to pay for that. But most times I managed to sneak past customs with my orders. I don't know whether it's if you order a massive amount or something like that. You know, yeah, I would think that, Zoe. It probably does depend on how much you order. If you order a shipping load, then you probably do have to pay customs because they're coming from Turkey. They probably think you're smuggling something in that's illegal. But I've been lucky just once, and I contacted Ice Yarn, and they actually sent me. They said don't pay the customs because they'll return it to us. We'll send it out again. No, you've got to blame Sue because she was the one who introduced me to Ice. She said, I've just found this wonderful site. I can buy yarn now without hiding it. Yay. It took me how many years to get to that stage, but now I am fine. No, you should have just contacted Ice and told them that they wanted $60 custom fee. They would have had it sent back from customs and then they would send it you out again. Maybe if you ordered it into, might you'd have to pay more postage, I presume. If you, yeah, that's probably what customs think. It's not just yarn in there. Who orders a massive big pack of yarn? Maybe if you'd put it in 2 orders, would it have made that much difference to your postage? But mind you, the one of mine that got caught up in customs, hi Jeanette, that got caught up in customs wasn't even a huge order. I tend not to go crazy when I'm doing an order. I don't know what customs think we've got in this. $50. It depends how much you're ordering, I suppose. Yeah, I get my ice by DHL. I don't get my ice by UPS. Don't you get a choice when you get to the payment? Do you not get a choice of which delivery that you choose? Hi from Wisconsin. You're watching Money for Nothing. Well, I was late to the show because I couldn't get in for a start off. And I was also late to the show because I was upstairs in my freezing cold craft room trying to find some yarn and a hook to start with. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do this because I can't even get the chain on. Hiya, Kelly. Hiya. I just mentioned your name. Did you hear me? I just said I've got the, what's it called? Oh, I've forgotten already. The one you think is stinky. It doesn't smell too bad, this colour. It does smell a bit like toilet cleaner, but it's not that bad. Well, I hope you all don't have customs duty. Kelly, have you ever paid customs duty on your ice order? Because I haven't. Well, once they tried to. That's the one, Kelly, antibacterial fragrance. Oh, dear. No, Kelly's not had customs charges. It must depend on how much you order or whatever. I've never done a whopping. I've not actually ordered from Hobium yet. I keep saying I will do, but I haven't yet. Well, they tried to charge me, Kelly, one time, but I told Ice, and Ice just told me to disregard it. And yeah, I haven't ordered from Hobium yet. It's very remiss of me because they were very, very nice enough to send me that box of samples. And oh, Deramores. Yeah, I had trouble with Deramores my last order. And I think who else did? Sian, didn't she? Sian had trouble with Deramores. I've given up with the crochet, I've decided. That didn't last long, did it? Didn't even chain on. Yes, I know that Hobium has some lovely yarn. I've had the samples that they sent to me were really super gorgeous, but I don't know. I've been trying to persuade myself that I'm not ordering yarn, but I actually am. It's just, yeah, it might have been Kim that they didn't send her the right order. Yeah, I realise Hobium's website is a bit more difficult than Ice. Yeah, Deramores are sending me offers and things like that, and but they just made a muck of my order. Yeah, and I did say muck, by the way. Yes. Yeah, I did look at Hobium and oh hi Yvonne, and I did look at Hobium, but I got a little bit sort of confused because he sent me some gorgeous samples, as you know. I think I showed them all to you. Yeah, Wool Warehouse, I can't beat it. They're always good value. And I also like Purple Linda, even though she's a little bit more expensive. And she does take a while to send your order through. But she does stock a lot of the things that I like. And with like James C. Brett, she seems to stock every colour. Whereas you can get it cheaper on Wool Warehouse, but they only pick certain colours that they're going to send to stock, yeah. So they might be cheaper if they've got the colour that you want, but I use Purple Linda. Yeah. Oh, well, if you could go to the warehouse and rummage through the reduction bins, that's absolutely fine. I'm just jealous of the people who live near Kemp's because they can go in and have a good old rummage for the things that don't get put on the website in the clearance because they don't have enough to put on there. I had a friend who lived right near to it. Need to move house. No, I think I'm too old to be bothered. I couldn't be bothered packing up all my yarn. Be a nightmare. I'd have to get a load of, those people who come and pack up your stuff for you. I'd have to get some people in. And then when we got to the other side, they'd have to come and help me to unpack it all, wouldn't they? Yeah. You go into a style. What kind of yarn do they sell? Excuse me, eating me chocolate. There's a big queue, Katrina, for my move to Wool Warehouse, yeah. Either that or move to Kent. Or we could move to Turkey, and then we would have ice yarns and Hobium. But I don't think they're actually in the same place in Turkey, and Turkey's a big place. Hi, Enid. Yeah, I'm a naughty girl. I'm eating chocolate and I'm diabetic, but I need it tonight. But don't worry, I don't go. I'm definitely not fond of flying. Not as I don't like flying, it's just there's never enough leg room for me. I like to stretch my legs right out. I'd have to go business class. Oh, you want a cup of coffee? I'm so sorry, but I keep drinking mine, don't I? Yeah. Oh, well, I've got short legs, but they don't bend in the middle. That's my trouble, really. If I sit in the car for too long, I get, my legs jam up. I have to make everybody push. I have to sit in the front seat and make everybody push. What is ice yarn compared to? It's one on its own. They've got some absolutely fantastic yarns. And I'm sure that Hobium do too. So, where am I in England? I'm in the rainy city, otherwise known as Manchester. It's not the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. The rain in Manchester falls mainly on me. Yeah, I've got a friend actually who lives in Turkey, and she keeps saying, "Oh, you should come over to visit and she goes to these Turkish warehouse places and she buys, you know, so much stuff. They have to help her to carry it out to the car. I thought, oh my God, I'd be stung by the customs coming back because I'd be over my limit. I'd have to leave all my clothes over there. No, I don't get, we've not actually had any rain today, Edie, but it's just not been that hot. When I got up at first this morning, it was lovely and sunny, and I thought we were going to have a great day. But no, it's clouded over. I'm still waiting for this heat wave that they promised us for next week. I'm holding my breath on that. What are you eating? Kelly? I'm determined I'm going to use the decking furniture this year. I got hardly any use out of it. Cumbria. It's nice up there in Cumbria. Don't hold your breath too long, Kelly. Don't want you. Hello, Craft Angel. Oh, you don't want any heat? Do you not like the heat, Enid? Have you got your own? Are you going through that time of life where you've got your own insulation? I thought I'd gone past all that at 72, but I do get my flushes every now and again. Hate to tell you that, ladies. They're still... Oh, you don't like the heat? I don't like it too hot, I must admit. I like it in the 80s, maybe. But I don't like 90s and 100s. That's a little bit warm for me. Top 70s, I like Cindy Lou. An 80. But when you get a bit past that, if you went to 100, I've got a friend, Grace, who lives in Texas, and she's always saying that it's like over 100 some days there, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't mind cooler, Zoe, but I don't like cold, and I don't like wet. I don't mind if it's cold and not wet, but I don't like wet. It just gets on my nerves being rained on every day. I don't know what 25C is. Come on, Zoe, you're the brain. Well, it did rain on you when you came last time, Zoe. I can't, and I did warn you to bring your brolly. Yeah. What's 25 degrees C? Oh, almost 80 F. Yeah, that's about nice. And nothing more than that. If it's 80 degrees in the UK, you get headlines in the paper saying heat wave. She said 80 degrees F. I don't do Celsius. I don't do C's. It's like I don't do kilos either. When I go to the hospital, they weigh me. I have no idea if I put weight on or not when they say it's so many kilos. I have to say, well, what was I last time? Is that up or down? Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. But now at the moment, I'm not going to the hospital, so nobody's weighing me. So I don't care anymore. Huh, 75. That'll do. I'll settle for 75. I like it warm, but I don't like it hot. Well, that was a poor choice, isn't it? Because I had to chain on, and I'm not going to chain on while I'm talking. It's like 1, 2, 75, 3, 4, 93. I can't talk and chain at the same time. I should have brought some wool for Granny squaring, shouldn't I? I've done that instead. This is only my second or third mug of coffee today. I'm lagging behind, considering I've not been out. Yeah. Now I would have been all right if I'd have started my crocheting before the video began, but because I've got to start it, I can't. Oh, I don't speak Spanish. I speak Spanish or Portuguese, whatever somebody written there. Because I don't speak any other languages really except English. Yes, you definitely need coffee, Zoe. We've got to keep our heart rate going and our caffeine overdrive going. Do you know, I've never been at the stage where you go all zzz, like some people do on caffeine and go all fizz and get super hyper. I've never had that thrill yet. I must be immune. It's like yesterday when I had one drink and it turned into four. And yeah, can you get the biscuits out as well, Zoe? I've got a craving for sweetie things, which I shouldn't have. But yeah, bring the biscuit in. I need to empty my biscuits in actually because they've been there for over 12 months, and I think it's time I threw them away. I don't eat biscuits really, and I think it's time that I threw them away. Oh, I don't think she does tea, Auntie Ray, and she only does coffee. I think tea's a dirty word in their house. Yes, I have my coffee black. Yeah, I don't have milk. You're going to try what again later, Edith, or is that just a personal question? Or are you just going to try and go out and come back in again? Oh, you were hoping, aren't you, Auntie Raindrop? I was once in bed, ill. I agree. From when Sue comes and she goes in the kitchen and she puts the kettle on and she makes her own tea because she knows full well I don't do tea. I keep tea in for her. I do. There's only her and my daughter-in-law that drink tea. Well, I've got 10 chain, considering I've got to have 85. I'm not doing very well, am I? I'm an absolutely rubbish tea maker. I think I've mentioned before that my tea tastes like poison. And I honestly don't try to poison anybody with it, but it just tastes like poison. Oh, you've never been involved in a live chat before? Well, where have you been? What am I making? Well, at the moment, I'm not making anything because I can't get past 10 chain. I'm supposed to be making that. Oh, you can see it's gone blurred, hasn't it? There you go. And the pattern is on Etsy, but I can't remember who's got it on Etsy. It's obviously a paid for pattern. But I can't talk and count chain. Do I like green tea? Oh, they drink green tea over here, but I don't like it. Yeah. I like cocoa and I like Ovaltine as well. And I was a cocoa girl when I was brought up. I don't like flavoured coffees. No. Coconut, no, no. No. Horlicks, I absolutely adore Horlicks. I have it every night. Unless I have, I just forgot what I was going to say. Let's say for Ovaltine, yeah. And no, I don't drink wine. That's one thing I don't drink. I don't like wine. Right, I've now got 20 chain. I keep putting a marker in. Horlicks on ice cream. I've never had that. Oh, I love my Horlicks and my Ovaltine. Yeah. We are the Ovaltinis, happy boys and girls. Or is it girls and boys? And tell how old I am. That was on the radio. You could get a little badge and belong to the Ovaltini gang. Oh, hello, Shirley. It's Horlicks is malted milk, but it's like white malted milk. Yeah, I like vanilla ice cream in Coca-Cola. I know I'm weird. An ice cream float, what they call it. That's what I used to crave when I was pregnant. And when I was pregnant, we didn't have a freezer, so it was a little awkward when I wanted Coca-Cola with an ice cream float at 11 o'clock at night. So, I used to try to persuade. No, I don't make my own crochet patterns. I can make things up out of my head, but I don't ever like write things down, and I can never remember what I've done. I can remember what I've done if I look at what I've made and follow it again, but I don't write things down. And if I did, nobody else would understand them. Yeah. Keep doing 10 at once. Cherry tomatoes and chicken noodle soup. Oh, hello from Texas. Oh, I don't like root beer. I kept reading about this root beer and all this, and I thought, oh, I really want one. And it tastes like germaline, if you know what germaline is. No, Horlicks isn't liquid Maltesers. Horlicks is white. Uh, Maltesers is brown. It's like chocolatey. No, I haven't. I did in the past with my niece. She wanted something, and it was crochet, and it was one heck of a price. So I got a friend had one, and she was very, very envious of it. So I said, get your friend to let me borrow it for a minute or two. So she did, and I did make her a copy of it. But I've never done it to sell. Yeah, never done it. I mean, I see a lot of things that Jen Cherry makes, but and I really, really like them, but she makes them to sell. So, I don't want to tread on anybody's feet by, sort of making something identical to theirs when they're trying to um, sell it. Yeah. You had to finish your taxes. Yeah. I'm going to put my pattern on my head, shall I? I keep showing this pattern. And I can't start, so I'm not crocheting anything. I just keep doing 10 and putting a curvy grip in. A bobby pin, as you call them. I can make a copy of some things, but they not anything that's too complex with a lot of shaping in it, things like that. But I can make a copy if I actually see something. But as you say, I don't really do it to sell because there's copyright reasons, isn't there? It's like copying someone's design, isn't it? That's what I'm making. Well, I will be if ever I get any chain. I was wearing this sweater the other day, if you all remember. What colour was it? Can't think now. Lilac. Yeah, lilac. Yeah. How many years have I been crocheting? Since I was 13 and I'm 72. So you can work that out because my math skills have gone out the window tonight. Now I've got a twisted chain. Gosh, I sound like I'm on a push bike, don't I? Oh dear. Let me do another 10. Who knows, I might actually get to 85 one day. Yeah, I've got 2 other colours in that yarn. 2 different colours. I've got a darker sort of fawny browny colour and one that's got pink in it, yeah. Hi Donna. Oh, the Tufty Club. Yeah, my son was a member of the Tufty Club. Oh, is it? Yeah, is it 60 years? Almost, yeah. You're making a snake. Well, keep it to yourself, Lena. I made a snake once, but it was a draft excluder. Kelly, have you got your mojo back again, or your crojo back again? The black multicolour, yeah, I put that one up on Etsy. But nobody's having me black and red one. Flowers in a row, that sounds nice. I don't like circular needles, as you all know. I'm just a weird woman that likes to knit with a needle under her arm. I really do like knitting, but it just hurts my arms so much. Yeah, that's nice. Hi, Marie. How many projects are you able to have at once? Usually one, because I think I mentioned before I've got a brain that's like a washing machine. It gets washed out every day, so, and I don't remember what the day before was, so. When I put anything down, I might as well just forget it, really, and I never go back to it, really. Oh, gosh. Sorry about that, Kelly, because you do a lot. Maybe when we get to Woolfest, if you can wait till June, maybe you'll get your mojo back again then, or your crojo, whichever. Well, I've done some chain, but I don't know how many I've done because I just keep counting them in tens. And I didn't have 10 stitch markers here handy to put 10. What day am I going to Woolfest? I'm going on the Friday, as is Zoe and Claire, hopefully. That's Bob Wilson 123. I'm not going for the weekend because I'm not staying overnight. Yeah. Yep, we're going on a Friday. But Zoe's going for the weekend. The shawl I'm making, yes, the one I was just doing before. I've used 300 grams. I don't really want to put another one into it. Because I've got some left, which I think will do the fringing. So I think I'll just leave it at the 3 skeins and not use the 4th one. Although there's 4 sort of balls in a pack, so I'd leave myself with 1. But I try to keep my shells to a certain price, and when you start making them bigger and using more yarn, then you have to start charging more because it takes more yarn, which costs more money, and it takes me longer to make them. So yes, I do need help with the accounting. Thanks a lot, Zoe. I keep doing them in tens, but I've forgotten how many tens I've done. Oh, yeah. You think he would look after him for a whole day? That's asking a lot, isn't it? Yeah, one skein. You could make a cowl or something like that, or it's got quite a good yardage, you know. It would make a little scarf if you did it narrow with one skein. I can't remember how many yards it's got on it, but it's got quite a few. Excuse me, I need to scratch my back. Why is Donna not doing her ribbing? Ah, I see, you're going to... Isn't that what's she called? Oh, can't remember her name now. The one who does Cozy Cottage Corner, or whatever she's called. Hannah. Hasn't she just qualified to be some kind of a preacher or a vicar? Yeah, I think she has. Oh, you're going to have coffee as well. Maybe I'll get my chain done if you're all going off to get a coffee. For aliens. There is never any yarn in my charity shop near to me. I don't think anybody in Prestwich does any knitting or crochet. I don't like it too strong. I'm not a fond lover of like ground coffee. So no, I don't like it too strong. No, I've seen your thrift stores. I mean, our charity shops are usually very small shops that just have clothing and bits and pieces and ornaments, you know, trinkets, cups, saucers, plates, things like that. CDs or the vinyl records and that. But I never see any yarn or anything like that. When I look at the thrift shops in the US, when people put like videos on it, they're huge. And they've got furniture in it and all sorts of things in it. You know, we don't. I think a lot of the staff must do some crocheting, or their mothers must do some crocheting. So I think the yarn gets sold before it even gets on the shelf. Hi, Nerdy Stitcher. Hello. You have to forgive me. I forget everybody's names. I think I've told you I've got a brain of a goldfish. Oh, yeah. Donna, furniture with cockroaches. Oh, dear me. No, we don't get that over here. Maybe we're not particularly in a cockroach place. I'm not saying there aren't any, but oh goodness, I'd love to go to a Goodwill store. Yeah, when I see people going, I mean, I watch a lady who does sewing, and she's only younger. The things she sews are not what I would wear, but it's lovely when she goes and gets these sort of really old-fashioned dresses and things like that for pennies kind of thing. And then she turns them into dresses for her or her sister. You know, I mean, I would never have the sort of know how to do anything like that because I'm not much of a seamstress at any time. Still haven't done the linings for the bags yet. So, yeah, we don't have our charity shops, Crochet Behind Me Chair. It's actually a shawl that somebody gave me. I can't remember who made it me now. So bad of me, isn't it? Somebody made me this gorgeous shawl. It's like purples and greens. It's a really nice shawl. But, oh, are you going to bed, Kelly? You found out if you can come to Woolfest with us yet? Yeah, so I don't actually know who Feel awful. I can't remember who sent it to me now. I know it was a lovely surprise gift. No, I didn't make it, so I don't know what it was at all. It was a gift. Night, Kelly. Oh, you're going on the Saturday. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we'll miss you. You might catch Zoe and Claire if you're there in the morning. Yeah. Do I know ham? Why would I want to know the jambon? That's ham, isn't it? I've no idea. I'm sure that's not your name. Jean Bernard Bidet. Yeah, I told Christina that she'd be maybe able to catch up with you, but not in the actual whatever. Yeah. Oh dear. We should swap dresses then, Nerdy Stitcher, because I always get the ones that are meant for somebody 6 foot tall. I've got a pile of dresses from last year and the beginning of this year. Where did I get the necklace from? Etsy. Etsy. Lady makes them. She does them all in different colours. I can't remember who she was called now because I got mine a long time ago, but she's still there, I think. I'm the opposite. I'm so tiny that I have to shorten all of my clothes. And I mean, Christina's been helping me by pinning them up. But I must have about 8 dresses. These earrings were a gift. One Christmas from a friend, so I don't know. Yeah, the necklace. It was a lady called Potter and Blue in a video. And she had one, and it was her friend who was making them. So that's when I went and got this one. And I got it purple, of course, because, purple's my favourite colour. But she did do them in all different colours, and I think she still makes them. Hi, Deb. You might have seen my notification, but I couldn't get in. Again. What I'm going to do next time is just tell you I'm going to come on, and then you'll sort of have to find me, because every time I try to do a notification, I get a memo that says, bing, it's time for you to join. And then when, oh, hi, Sophie. But then when I go to try and join it, it tells me I'm not the right encoded message or something. So I've just given up. I just do live as it comes now. So I'm not doing any more setup things. I don't know what happens, yeah. Right, Zoe, are you going on one of your chat things? She's so popular, Zoe, you know. She likes her technical channels, and then she's got a friend that she chats to that can only be on at certain times because she's working and she's in the US, yeah. You're always doing something, Zoe. I don't know how you find time to do your grocery. She spins. Who's coming? Oh, I didn't see her come in. Oh, I missed her. Hello. Yeah. Well, I'm home all day. I'm retired, and yet I don't seem to find time to do anything these days. I'm just so disorganized. I write myself lists saying things I want to do that day, and I still don't. The first thing I ever crocheted was actually a sweater for myself, free-formed, in fingering weight on a 3mm crochet hook when I was 13. That's pretty impressive. I'm impressed with myself even now. I put a sweater that fitted me on the bed because I was ill. I was in bed. And I crocheted round it to fit it in the only stitch I knew how to do, which was, well, if you're in the US, it was 2 double crochets, 1 chain, 2 double crochets. And then you went into the centre of it all over and over. And that was the only stitch I could do. So I made a whole sweater. And I made a keyhole neckline and a little collar. Oh, dear. Hi, Juanita. What projects am I working on? Well, I've got almost finished a shawl. I've got to fringe it, so that's why I've not brought it on here. And then I'm trying to start a sweater, but I'm not doing very well because I can't count while I'm talking. So I'm trying to work out how many chain I've got on. I know I was watching somebody else who was crocheting. Oh, I know who it was. DOY Creation 7. She was crocheting something finer. It wasn't even fingering. It was like a double knit or something. She called it cotton weight or something. And she was going, oh, I can't crochet with this. It's too thin. It just made me smile. One clothing item I prefer to crochet more than others. Usually for myself, it's either a sweater or a jacket because that's what I wear most. I don't get much wear really out of short sleeve sweaters and things like that because it's so cold over here. And if it's really, really hot, then I'm wearing a cotton blouse or something, yeah. So that's what I prefer to crochet. I really like crocheting baby items, but I just never had any sales for them. So as there's no more babies in, I do request within reason, Donna. I don't do requests when they want an Afghan for a king size bed or something. I say no, thank you. And I don't do mats, those little doily things. That would drive me crazy. And I do not ever, ever, ever do amigurumis. Kim, that's Blue Cherub 82. She does wonderful amigurumis. And Karen Hales, Casualistic, she does wonderful amigurumis, but me, nope. Oh, and Randy from, here we go again now. Randy's Ramblings. She does amigurumis as well. But I do garments, that's my thing. Yeah, Randy does some lovely things, doesn't she? I love her little, that one that dries the crackers, that one that's white, yeah. Oh, did they? Did somebody beat you to it? I probably can if I can find some olive green. I'd have to look what it was. You'd have to contact me on the Etsy and tell me what size you are and everything like that, and I'll have a look, yeah. Yeah. I had a request from a lady, but she wants something that I'd made. She wanted it in that colour, but smaller, but unfortunately it was a discontinued colour and I couldn't do it, yeah. 40 pounds. I can't even drop £1 nerdy stitcher, so we're both even on that one. With the flared sleeves. Which one that I've got? With the flared sleeves, you'll have to remind me. I've got so many. They don't wear out, that's the trouble with my cardigans. Sometimes I'm wearing one and you say, oh, I like that. And it's one I made about 10 years ago. And I have to think then. I have to actually think. Yeah. I've got a lot with... Well, next time you see me wear it, Donna, say, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. I've got a sweater with big sleeves, but that I wouldn't recommend on anybody because I get fast up on everything. It looks it's beautiful. It's one of Doris Chan's And it's got gorgeous floating sleeves. I've got it in red. And it's absolutely lovely, but I've had it a long time, you're right, Donna. But I get absolutely hooked up on everything, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you wear what you want. I've got to the age where I don't care. I dressed for convention for far too long. I worked in an office where they had a sort of dress code. So I was forced to dress in suits and things like that, which were not my thing at all. So when I sort of left and discovered eBay and discovered thrift shops, whatever you call them, charity shops, and I decided then that I could afford some new things because I'd always bought new when I was working, always. And when I stopped working and I was on a pension, I thought, oh, my days of buying clothes are over because I just can't afford the new things. Yeah, I'm so thrilled to be wearing this because this is brand new to me. And it still had the swing ticket on it and it's lovely. But my niece bought it for me. But when I discovered, the charity shops on eBay, then I decided I would just, oh, by Katrina. Yes. The only thing I have to watch these days is I love to wear the big floaty gypsy, boho skirts. But because I'm on my scooter, I mean, I ruined one of my skirts because it got caught in the wheel. And I was halfway across the road, so I couldn't stop because the traffic lights were going to change at any minute. So it just tore. So by the time I got to the other side of the road, I was wearing a mini skirt and I was dragging all this material behind me. Oh, thank you. I like to dress nicely. I am. Yeah, you know the feeling though. I finished up wearing a mini skirt and it's not flattering with legs like mine. So I was trying to gather up all the ripped skirt and like drape it across my knees so I was decent enough to scooter my way home. No, I used to get, well, not picked on. If I wore anything a bit brighter when I was working, there was always such catty comments, They just wanted me to be, how can I put it, boring. Anyway, I gave away all my business suits and everything and the blouses and that. I gave them all. I asked them at the women's hostel, for the battered wives or whatever. And I asked the people there, did they ever have any need of high heels, which I can't wear anymore, and business suits? And they said, oh, yes, please, because if we've got any of our ladies wanting to go for an interview, we like them to dress up nice and not what they've like fled from the abusive partner in, which is sometimes just a pair of, shell suit pants or something like that. So yes, they would like a formal suit, like to go out with. So I donated my ex-husband's suits that he'd left behind. Donated them for the men's section kind of thing, the homeless men. Yeah. Oh no, I did wear my minis when I had the legs. Yes, I did. I used to have really good legs, and this is what upsets me the most because I've got this um, it's like cellulitis or whatever, and one knee is twice the size of the other now, which is why I always wear trousers and why I always wear long skirts. Yeah, I used to wear mini skirts, which was a little bit dangerous because back in the day there wasn't any tights, so we had to wear suspenders and everything like that. So we learned to be very ladylike when we bent over because you had to be, because otherwise you were showing you next week's washing. And I think these high heels that are fashionable now, I look at the girls and I think, oh my God, you just don't know how to walk in them. I used to spend hours practicing walking up and down in the house in my high heels. When you think we had stilettos and, mine were a good 4.5, 5 inches. And my feet were so tiny, so I was like walking on the tips of my toes, really, because they were so high. But I used to practice walking up and down. I even used to put a book on my head, to learn how to walk nicely. When I see some of the the young lasses clod up and down the road in heels, and they just don't know how to walk in them. You have to practice, Esther, with a book on your head. That's what we used to do. And bend like a lady. You don't bend over like at the waist like I do now. But when I had knees and could bend properly, you always bent down like a lady. You didn't bend down and show all your knickers. You bent down ladylike, yeah. Oh, well, I can't wear them now because I've got a bad knee and obviously I've had a spinal operation. The last time I wore high heels was when my niece got married, and she's been married about 14 years now. And that was the last pair of high heels I wore, yeah. Yeah, my friend used to iron her hair with an iron, but she used to use brown paper, though, between the hair and the iron. I never had enough hair to iron, and it wasn't curly anyway, so I never had to iron my hair. My mum used to say it was straight like a yard of pump water. Yeah, deportment, yeah. We used to do a lot of that when we were younger. We were, oh, God. Go away, whoever you are. How naughty. That's so rude. I do think high heels look so elegant if you're going to a function, though, like a wedding or, something where you really get dressed up. Oh, for goodness sake. What the heck is wrong with him? Some little kid, is it? Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I used to like to wear them when, you went out for a meal or something, and you parked quite near to the restaurant, so you could sort of hobble your way in, if you know what I mean, on your high heels, but not if you were going to walk around town in them or anything like that. I mean, even when you went to a wedding kind of thing, you used to go to the door of the church, didn't you? And then you'd go to the car again and then go to the reception. So it wasn't too bad. But that was the last time I wore high heels. I did try to teach other people to crochet. I had a crochet group, but unfortunately I had one lady in the group who must have had dementia or Alzheimer's. And it was an informal one. It wasn't one where anybody paid me to teach them or anything like that. It was just an informal one. But because she had memory problems, she every week she had to start all over again, if you know what I mean. She couldn't even remember what a chain was or anything. And so it held everybody else up because she was one of those who used to demand my attention. She'd be coming to me all the time. What do I do? What do I do? Have I done this stitch right? Have I done this right? And it drove me absolutely bonkers. And it really annoyed all the people who were there to learn because she was demanding so much of my time, yeah. So I just gave up teaching. Yeah. Oh, I love the trannies and the cross dressers and that. They're just such fun, I used to go down when I could go out and about. I used to go down, there's a street called Canal Street in Manchester, where most of the gay people go to the gay bars and that. But they are the most fun clubs to go into. They have all the best music and things like that. Oh, good night, Artie Raindrop. But they are such fun. Really, they are. Yeah. It's always what I call like dance music, sort of electronic dance music and stuff like that. And they're all happy, fun. It's just really so much fun, you know. I think when they're all together and they're in a safe environment, they really know how to party. You know, you need a few gays to have a good party, if you know what I'm saying. But I used to love going, you know, but a lot of places are a bit funny if they think that you're straight and they don't want you in there. But I never really had that problem because I had so many friends who were gay that when I went in there, I knew different people. Oh, hi. Cameron says hi, does he? Hi, Cameron. I used to work in a job centre, and I worked in an area where there was a lot of gay people and transvestite people and transsexual people. So when I used to go into the gay clubs and that, I knew them from work. And they were always very, very friendly towards me because I never made any difference to me what they were. And they just used to say, well, you accept us. And I used to think, yeah, I do accept you. A person is a person to me. I don't care what their nationality is, what their religion is, what their colour is, what their sexuality is. I don't care. If they're nice people, then they're just my friends to me, you know, and I don't draw a line, you know, and say, right, you can't be my friend because you're such a thing, such a thing. No, I mean, if a person is all right with me, then I'm all right with them. It doesn't matter. You know, I don't segregate religion or anything. No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm curious about different religions. I like it when people don't mind if I ask them questions. You know, some people get a bit uppity, and you know, I'm one that will ask and say, you know, well, what do you worship? What is the difference? You know, oh, he fell asleep, did he? Yeah, I mean, I think there would be a lot less racial hatred if we understood what people were all about. I mean, yeah, I don't agree with ISIS, but that doesn't mean to say that I don't like everybody who's that race, because it's nothing to do with the majority of people, is it? It's just ISIS is a group. And it's like there's must be people in England who are sort of very racist and that. Well, I don't agree with them. You know, I just honestly think that people should be people, and I don't see what it is. I mean, if you go into a group of children and they're like 3, 4 years old, they don't see a different colour. They don't see anything. They just play together, don't they? It's just something that they learn or get from their parents or something like that. Yeah. I mean, my little boy said he was playing with a little boy called, was he called Jimmy. And he came home from school one day and he said to me, Mummy, why is Jimmy brown? And I just said, because his mummy's brown. And he just went, okay. And that was the end of that. You know, we didn't go into, you know, anything to do with race or anything. He was just brown. And I just said, Jimmy's brown because his mummy's brown. Yeah. End of story. That was it. Jimmy was just a mate. Yeah. Yeah, I think people do judge you. I mean, I've had people. I met a guy one time, and he was a Sikh, and he held out his hand, and I shook it, and he said, "No, I know you accept me." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "It's amazing how many people won't shake my hand, or won't take money out of my hand, or won't give it to me in my hand. You know, change from a shop. They'll put it on the counter. They won't, you know, or they'll say to him, put the money on the counter. You know." And I just couldn't understand that. I can't understand that. Why anybody would do that to another person. Yeah, I do think it would be great if people didn't judge other people. You can judge other people because they're horrible. You can judge other people because they murder, rape, kill, whatever they do, yeah. But don't, not because of their religion, yeah. Yeah, I've got friends who are Sikhs. I've got friends who are Pakistani. I've got friends who are Chinese. I've got other friends. But after you've met a person, and I'm not saying you don't notice because you do, when you meet a person, you realize he's brown, he's black, he's whatever. You realize that. But after that, I don't see it. He's just my friend after that, or she's my friend after that. Because I see colour at first. It's daft to say I don't see colour at first, but I do. But it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, yeah, I think we should all crochet for world peace. Yeah, everybody join it in. Have I been discriminated against? No, not discriminated against. I've been called quite a few names, because of my size and things like that. Yeah, but no, yeah, and I can't understand why people. I mean, I for one grew up in a very, very white little village community, and I'd never ever seen anyone who was black or any different colour until they came over from not Barbados, where was it they came from? Trinidad. A lot of people came over Trinidad to work as nurses and to work on the buses. And the first time I ever saw anybody who was coloured was actually a bus conductor on the buses. So you would think that I would be more wary than most people because I wasn't brought up with anybody that was even multiracial. I just wasn't. I was like in a little insular community where there wasn't anybody. But yeah, I'm not. I don't care what colour people are. Yeah. Yeah, I think people are on the whole, on the crocheting world and the knitting world are very, very good to each other. Yeah, I mean that would be nice. I wish my childhood had been exposed to more cultures and cuisines and things. Because then I wouldn't have just had chips and a meat pie. I would have a meat dinner. If it wasn't English, if it didn't have what my dad could recognise, he didn't want it. I remember the first time my mother put a little bit of garlic in something or other. I'm not a foreigner. What you putting muck in my dinner for? He was traditional right to the end. He didn't want his dinner mucked about with, he said. So he didn't like casseroles or anything. He couldn't recognise what they were. My mum was a little bit more different. She would try different things, yeah. No, that is one thing I've not had, jellied eels. No, that's a traditional English dish that you won't get me having, no. Yes. We have areas in this country. I mean, in London, for example, I was about 17 and I went down to stay with my aunt and uncle. Just for the week, just staying with them and going around seeing the sights. And I said to them, I said to them, oh, I said, your neighbours come from Manchester. And they looked at me and they said, you've been talking to the neighbour? I said, yeah, why? Oh, we don't talk to the neighbours. We don't talk to them. I said, why don't you talk to them? You've fallen out. They said, no, it's a dumb thing. You just walk out of your house. You don't look left or right. You just go walking out. You don't talk to the neighbours. And I thought, what a weird place to live. And they'd lived next door to this woman for about 10 years and they didn't know who she was. They didn't know her name. They didn't know anything about her. And yet, in half an hour of chatting to her, I knew her life story. The poor woman was probably lonely, and she's chatting away to me. But in the north up here, everybody's hello, love, I hate this where they say you're not to call people love, it's demeaning, or darling, or whatever. But we in the north, it's just ingrained and will not stop it. Because if you see somebody wandering about on the street looking a little bit lost or something, we'd say, are you all right, love? Do you need any help or something like that? Yeah. Whereas in London, they'd probably push you over in the crush and just leave you there with your map, But no, no. I've had very awful things said to me because I've knit or crochet a lot with acrylic. I left Ravelry apart from looking for patterns, and I don't go in any of the chat groups anymore. I used to be so proud and posting what I've made and things like that, and I got so many nasty, nasty comments. Yeah, about yarn snobs, yeah, and I just they didn't drum me out of it. I just wouldn't put up with it anymore. Oh, no, we're bistitchual, dear. The only reason I don't knit at the moment is because I've had shoulder and back problems, and when I do knit, they cause me. I tend to knit and then I won't put it down, and I tend to knit, and yeah, Marisa. I don't mind if people use fancy wool. I don't mind if they do. I just don't like it when people imply that you're not as good as they are because you're using cheaper yarn or something like that. That's what I don't like. No, I don't like to be told that what I'm using is. I mean, somebody once told me that a baby would burn or something if it was wearing one of my acrylic crocheted cardigans, and I'm thinking, what? So you knit fancy wool, do you, for a baby, and the mums can't put it in the washing machine. So a brand new mummy is not going to stand there hand washing little sweaters when she's got a tiny little baby. Yeah, I can't wear wool. I'm not an anti-yarn snob. It's the fact that I can't wear wool. It's not, yeah, it's expensive and I can't afford it, but that's not the main problem why I don't need it. I mean, yeah. I mean, when I was a working mum when my son was little. I didn't have time to stand there hand washing things and doing it all and drying it flat, But yeah, nerdy stitcher, if you want to do that, that is fine. I'm not saying everybody who uses fancy yarn shouldn't use it. All I'm just saying is whatever you want to knit with, crochet with is fine by me. I just have a problem when people tell me what I can't use, yeah. And that's why I say, they do. They make you feel inferior because you're using budget yarns that you can afford. Yeah, it's if they want to use fancy yarn and they can afford to use fancy yarn, that's fine. That's fine. I don't say to you, oh, don't use that, it's rubbish. I mean, I might say I didn't like using it because it felt a bit rough to me, but I wouldn't say, oh, what have you made that in acrylic for? It should be wool or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Marisa, if anybody wants me to crochet for them and they want me to do it in cashmere or something like that, I'd say, yes, I will. But you get the wool because you don't understand how much it's going to cost. And, very quickly I get no reply back from them when I say, I need so much yarn and that's how much it will take for your size. And they don't come back to me because they've obviously gone away, priced it. And I say, yeah, Chinese, is it red like red? I don't know why, but they do. So I say to him, yes, I will crochet for you. Oh, no, I don't feel guilty at all. I live on my own. It doesn't matter. I don't really use Simply Soft Pure because I can't get it really, but I crochet with Susan Bates, but that's my particular preference. I always say that you use the hook that you like and it feels comfortable and it suits your hand. I would never say, oh, go out and buy Susan Bates hooks. I would always say, try different hooks if you can. Try the different ends, the shaft bit or whatever you call it, the throat bit. And see which one. I've had very expensive yarn hook given to me, and I couldn't use it. Yeah. I don't use the boy hooks, but again, that's just a personal preference because the bob bit on the end is actually too big for me. I can't get it in. Sounds lovely, this conversation, and I can't get it in the hole, yeah. But you know what I mean? Yes, Nerdy Stitcher, what did you do? She's not telling us, it must be a big secret. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a good idea. I would do something like that. I would like it if there was anywhere. I mean, I don't have a local yarn shop, so I can't do it. But if they would let you try the expensive hooks. I mean, if I really, really liked an expensive hook and it really suited the way I crocheted and everything, then I would save up and I would get one. But I just go by, I mean, look at me, I've got the end of a roller stuck on my crochet hook, you know, because I looked at the Susan Bates handle things, you know, and they were so expensive. So I went into the pound shop and I got some of those rollers, you know, the ones that have the metal wire through them. And I took the wire out and I need to replace it because it's all battered now. It's all ripped. But, you know, that's what I do. I've got some actually. I mean, I love my aero needles, which are as old as the hills, you know. But as I say, a pound shop is a bit like your dollar place. They sell all kinds of toiletries and bits and pieces, shampoos and things for £1. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like trying all kinds of yarns, as you know. I have been to Black Sheep Wool in Warrington, but not since they did it up. I went many years back when I had a car. And and I've been to see many Black Sheep ones when I've been to the wool, well, they used to be proper wool places, but now they've changed over to be paper craft and stuff. When I used to go to the exhibitions that they had in Manchester and that, Black Sheep always had a stall there, and they used to throw all these packets of wool in a great big pile, and you had to sort of wade your way through them. You felt in danger of falling in the pile, yeah. I'd like to go back again because, I mean, I don't know where you saw on my page that Black Sheep have got so many craft classes, you know, on how to dye yarn, crochet cushions, things like that. I mean, I wouldn't like to dye yarn, but there are some other crochet courses that I would have liked to have gone on if I'd have had a car, you know. Yeah, Millwood hooks, I've used those as well. I mean, our Poundland and Pound Stretcher and places like that have got some nice yarn in now and again, yeah. Well, I've worn the hook on mine, it's blue, but I don't know whether you can see it. I've worn it to silver. I've worn the colour off it through using it too much. Vintage hooks, it depends. Oh, yeah, because remember, I can't use public transport. It depends on where you're meeting up, yeah. Yeah, I would love to go there one time. I'm not saying I would buy much, but I mean, I'm going to Woolfest, but I probably won't buy much there. I'm just going for the atmosphere and to meet up with lots of people. Oh, you're local to Manchester. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, because they have a bit of a cafe there now, don't they? I think. Yeah. Our buses, go, you're joking. The space that's supposed to be for a wheelchair, if I did have a wheelchair, are always taken up by very militant young ladies who won't move with their buggies and things, you know. And they think they've got the right to go there, and they won't move for anybody who's disabled. They just glare at you. When is the Woolfest? It's June 22nd, June 23rd. 3rd. That's the Friday and the Saturday. And it's in Cockermouth in, I think it's Cumbria. I'm going up on the Friday, as is Zoe and Claire, you know, Bob Wilson 123. She's coming all the way from Australia, not just for that. She's coming to meet relatives, but she's going up there. Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, we have women over here, young mums, and they let their kids stand on the seat with mucky wet Wellington boots on, you know. And if you say anything to them, you just get a mouthful, you know. I mean, even the bus driver's gone and tell these women that that's a disabled space. Well, where the F am I supposed to put my buggy then? Where the F am I supposed to do this? I was on here first, I'm not moving, meh. I mean, there's no respect anymore. None. I mean, if we saw an older lady, you always got up off your seat, you know, and they won't even, you know, move their child while you sit down. And the child hasn't even paid for a seat if it's under 5, you know. Oh, you won't pick me up, Nerdy Stitch. You'd have to leave me in the snowdrift. But no, I don't use a wheelchair. You see, I use a scooter, or I can walk a little bit with one of those walkers. I mean, when you see me, you think that there's nothing wrong with me because I don't look, you know, like there's anything wrong. But yeah, I can fall over on my own without anything. I just lose my balance and over I go, you know. So that's why I don't walk anywhere anymore now. Oh, where's the opposite way round with me? I am the big, yeah. But unfortunately, I'm sitting in my chair. I would love, if I win the lottery, I would love another scooter. You know, those teeny weeny ones that fold up at the push of a button that you can just put on a bus or you can put on the tram or something and go in the boot of somebody's car. I mean, they're not much good on hills or anything like that, but they would be great if I was going out for the day. Or if I was going like to Woolfest and that, I wouldn't be looking for a chair everywhere, you know. That was my one beef the last time I went to Woolfest. The only place there was any chairs was in the cafe. And yeah. Oh, our buses, you'd have to wait for about 12 buses before you found one with the lift, you know, that would go up. Some of the buses have them, but not very many, where the lift comes up and puts the wheelchair on, yeah. I had that with a guy. I was falling and falling, and you know when you're falling for ages, like, and you think I'm not going to fall, I'm not going to fall. Oh, yes, I'm falling. And this guy came up behind me and he hoisted me up, but he really hurt me under my armpits, you know, because he really caught me. He set me on my feet again. He said, "You okay now?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks." And I'm walking away going, "Wow," because under my arms he'd hurt them so much. The Woolfest, it's not as big as the Edinburgh Festival. There's not a lot of walking because it's not that big. It's nothing like the American wool festivals or anything like that. I mean, they're held in such massive, massive places. I'd never be able to do that. Well, yeah, I might have hurt myself more if he'd let me fall. But then again, I might have righted myself because I was falling. Then I wasn't falling. Then I was falling, if you know what I mean. I can't tell you how many times I've been picked up because I've fallen over in a street. Right? That's why I won't go out now walking because it's so embarrassing. Oh, I think they're totally yarn snobs at the Woolfest. Absolutely. The stalls there, this is why I won't be buying anything. I should say nearly 100% of the stalls there will be hand-dyed yarn. Or there'll be like, you know, the wool, you know, the bat things that you buy when you spin it yourself. because I believe that there was a lot of spinning wheels there last time. I haven't been for a little while. So I'm not going to... Sir Gigi doesn't want a sweater. His daddy doesn't want him in a sweater. So I've got my orders on not to make him one. The last time I went was actually about, must be about 10 years back when I last went. But if I go next year, I would like to go to the Edinburgh Festival instead and make a little bit of a little weekend out of it, you know, because Edinburgh is such a beautiful place, you know, with historic places to look at, you know. They've got lovely architecture and things like that. And it's a much, much bigger. Aye, okay. No, you know, well, you're a little bit late, but we'll let you off because it's you. We're just talking about Woolfest and wool fairs in general. And funnily enough, I was mentioning you earlier on, not in a nasty way, we were talking about Turkish yarn. And I was saying how you go to these warehouses over there and you buy lots and lots of yarn in Turkey. We were just talking about Hobium, and there was lots of people on here have been ordering Hobium yarn, and very good reports. So you can tell your friend that, you know, everybody likes his yarn. And I will eventually make up an order. Yeah, yeah. This lady knows the man who owns Hobium yarn. So, well, he works at Hobium yarns if he doesn't own it. So, if you've ever ordered from Hobium yarns, this lady was the one who introduced me to them. Even though I've been very naughty and I've not ordered from them yet, we fully intend to do so. Do I have a Hobby Lobby? I believe there's one in Bolton, but it's not within striking distance for me because I don't have a car anymore. That's my main problem, no transport. Yeah. I was always an old man's darling when I was young as well. I used to hate it. You get the men about, when I was about 16 or 17, you know, the men about 40 would say, oh, I'd take you out and all this. And I'm thinking, go away. Oh, your friend owns Hobium. Well, tell him I said hello and I've not forgotten him and I will order from him as soon as I can. I just haven't had the wherewithal. Oh, yes, my Doc Martin boots. I've still got them, of course, and they are gorgeous. He carries all kinds of yarn. You've got to see it to believe it. It's really, really... he sent me like a ball of different kinds, and there was, some of them were just so soft and silky. Yeah, it's online, isn't it, Oz? Oz. Okay. I'm calling it Oz. Yes, it's online. Hobium's online. The samples he sent to me were absolutely gorgeous, believe me. Yeah. Who's going to get married? He's going to get married? Or she's going to get married? So it was a lady I was speaking to, was it not a guy? I thought it was a guy. Oh. Yes, there's lots of acrylic as well as other things as well. I got sent a variety, like I said. I don't know whether you ever saw my I opened the box online and I did the order of ice yarns is getting married. Oh, right. I've got ice yarns with me at the minute, but only because I ordered such a shed load of them. I'm still using it all up. Yeah, they were absolutely... yeah, I did an opening of the box when Hobium sent me this big box of stuff. And no, I don't get a discount. I never ask for a discount. No. I've never been sponsored by anybody, and I don't really want to be sponsored by anyone, because then I can't be impartial and I can't say what I really think if I'm being sponsored by a person. Or everything I do in magazines, every time I do a book review, I've bought them all myself. Yeah, it's no wonder I'm bankrupt, is it? But you know what I mean. But I don't think you can be impartial if you're being sponsored by somebody. You know, and I'll never be big enough to be sponsored by any of the big guys, because I know I appreciate everybody who watches me, but I'm not a big enough person to get, you know, be asked by anybody to do a review of their yarn or anything like that. But I love getting things through when that box came from Hobian, Kay said, we're sending you a few samples. I thought it was going to be like a bag, you know, with about 6 or 8 bags in it, you know what I'm saying? 6 or 8 balls in it. I didn't think I was going to get a big box full of it. Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to. I mean, Zoe was approached, but she was told to give her honest opinion when she got those crochet hooks. And she was also told that she could, knitting needles, and she was also told that she could do what she wanted with them afterwards. And she did do a giveaway with them. Yeah, I mean, it was the same with me when I had my my wool shop. I mean, you know, family, we did give them a little discount, but you couldn't do it for everybody, all of your friends or everybody. You'd have no profit. You know, they're in business when all's said and done, aren't they? They can't give away stuff. Hi, Jean. I haven't got it handy with me. Perhaps okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, I love getting mail, even if it's things I've ordered myself, like a bit of lace, you know, or even some buttons. Because the thing is, if you order buttons and things from China, is by the time they arrive, you've forgotten what you've ordered, and it's a big surprise when it actually arrives. You know. I mean, I'm even thrilled when I get like a packet of, you know, sort of eyeglass cleaners and things like that. You finally got time to relax, have you? Well, come in and take your shoes off and lie down and get your crochet or your knitting or whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. Well, I haven't got a husband, so I don't care about that. You have to wash new clothes. Well, my clothes are never new, so. Well, this was new, but I didn't wash it, must admit. I didn't wash it before I wore it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really getting my liking this. First time I put it on since she gave it me. Well, actually, I'm telling you, it's the second time I put it on, but. Oh, you found Hobian ones, yeah. No, my ex-husband didn't snore. It was me that did the snoring, so I can't really. Yeah, I like the new clothes smell. I also like wool. You always, whenever I get any new yarn or anything in the post, I have to sniff it, and other people do as well. And I see lots of people on videos saying, "Am I weird because I sniff all the yarn?" And I'm like, no, because I sniff it. I feel it, fondle it, hold it, and then I have to sniff it. You always pray that the person in front of you at the wool shop hasn't sniffed it first and they've got a cold or something. They were all yarn sniffers. We have separate houses, Cheryl. Oh, yeah. The only one I never liked was my mum used to stock a yarn by Peyton's, and it was the oiled Aran wool, 100% wool. And it absolutely stunk of like wet cattle or wet sheep. It was, ugh. you wouldn't sniff that for sure. But my aunt made my ex-husband a sweater in it one time because he used to go fishing and sailing and stuff like that, you know. And, you know, he didn't get wet when he was wearing it. Yeah, separate houses. We've had separate houses for about 20 years. I was always told Peyton's, and the rep that used to call to me used to call it Peyton's, so that's why I've always called it Peyton's. It used to be Peyton and Baldwin's in the originally. P&B, Peyton and Baldwin's, but then it got shortened to just Peyton's. So to me, it's not pattern, because to me, patterns would have two T's in the middle, but that's just the way, that's just me, yeah. That's something we've got in common, okay, because I tell you, I've got a wool will. Sue's in my wool will, and she keeps saying, you've got to live till you're at least 100 and get rid of some of it because I'm not taking all of that home, yeah? She said her husband will divorce her. What a partner. When you take into account all the books I've got and all the patterns and all the magazines I've got and everything, and the knitting machines, I would imagine that they are. I don't think any yarn is made in England anymore. Yeah. No, I was just brought up with it being Peyton's because Peyton's was, yes, Sue's got a yarn stash, but her partner thinks she's got too big of a yarn stash because it's in the garage. But her husband, or her partner, has never seen mine. Although he might see it one day when it all arrives at their house, yeah. But Sue gets her own back because, well, they're both bikers, but her partner has got the other half of the garage full of bits for bikes, motorbikes, yeah. So she doesn't feel too bad because half of the garage is her yarn and the other half of the garage is his bits and pieces for motorbikes and stuff. Whereas my garage is full. All the machine cones are in the garage and all the oddments, you know, like 1 and 2 balls, they're all in the garage. That's what I was actually working my way through, you know, when I was making the bags and the hand warmers, arm warmers, things like that, because they're the ones I really want to get rid of. The ones in the craft room are all, get rid of the bikes and the. Do I crochet with the machine cones? I have done, yes. And that's where they're going to finish up because I thought I was going to start using my machine again, and that was my aim when I got all the machine cones. But I just haven't. I tried it one day, and admittedly I was machine knitting on a dining chair that didn't move, and I couldn't move for days after with my back. And so now I've got a typing chair, but I've not tried the machine since then because the typing chair will move with me when I go across with the, you know, you can imagine when I was going across like that in a straight chair, it was pulling my back both ways. And it just locked up on me. I just couldn't move for about 2 or 3 days. So that kind of put me off doing my knitting machine. But I would like to use it again because it does some fantastic lace, you know, in a very, very fine, you know. And I would love to do some, you know, like summer tops or something like that in very fine lace. I've got leaning towers and bins everywhere. I mean, I've got to the stage now where I go in there and I think, you really have got too much yarn. And I never thought I would say that. But yeah, I'm addicted to new stuff. I want to see new stuff. I look at what I've got and I think, now I'm fed up with that, yeah. No, she doesn't ride a Harley. I don't know what she's got, but no, it's a Suzuki. She's got here. Now, Kelly's got to look through my knitting patterns one day because I've got 3 great big bins like that full of knitting patterns. And you're going to cry when I say how many I threw away when I disbanded the shop, because I didn't have any room, you know, to keep them. And there was no such thing then as eBay. I could have made a fortune, you know, selling all my patterns. If I'd have sold them all for £1 each, there must have been about £2,000 or £3,000 in the boxes I threw away. It's one of the things I regret the most, throwing away. But my ex-husband was just in one of those moods, and he said, they're just going to have to go. We can't keep keeping them. And so reluctantly they went down to the dump, yeah. So I've still got some buttons left though from the shop, and I've still got 2 packs of yarn left from my shop. So where do you keep all your yarn, okay? Because I know you've got quite a lot, haven't you? Do you have a dedicated room? If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's chocolate milk. Yeah, I didn't know online. I didn't have a computer. I didn't know people then that wanted them. I tried to give as many away as I could, you know, to people who knitted. But before I left the shop, I had like big boxes saying, please take one and stuff, you know, or please take a few. But I still finished up with stacks and stacks and stacks left, yeah. I've got a craft room, but it's only a smallish bedroom. Well, you've been to England, haven't you? So you know how small the houses are here. And, you know, they're just, you put a double bed, I'm not talking about a king size bed or anything like that. My bedroom would not fit a king size bed in it or a queen size bed in it. I wouldn't be able to open the door. It just fits a double bed and wardrobe. I would love to do that. I would love to crochet for a small shop or something, but there just isn't any. There's no local yarn shops anywhere near me at all. I used to crochet things for a craft shop at one time. Well, I didn't crochet for them. They sold my things on a commission. But then they closed down because they weren't making enough money, and she had another baby and different things, you know. You know, my aunt used to have a wool shop in Rill, which was a seaside town, and it used to have lots of holiday makers used to go. So she used to sell all sorts of things. She used to knit tea cozies, hats, everything like that, and put them in the window. And people used to buy them for gifts for people. Yeah. Well, I could start a stash with my shop, but I'm too mean. I like it all. I won't. I won't part with any of it. Yeah, Kelly, she just got off I'm Yarn Inspired. She always likes to go and sit in my yarn room, and so does Sue, yeah. Oh, the houses are so odd, yeah. Next time you come to London, I'll have to try and get the train down and say hello to you. Oh, yes, that's where I get my inspiration from. At the moment, it's a bit cold in there because my son turned the radiator off at both sides. And I've tried turning it back on again and it started leaking. So I've just left it. So it means that really my craft room is not being used except as a hoard, yeah. Yeah, we could meet up with Zoe as well because she doesn't live in London, but she lives down near that end, that end of the country. Yeah. Well, it's taken me, I don't know how many years to get a room. What tickled me, Heather, was I had this tiny little room with my stash in it, and it was crammed. And I put it in the bigger room, which was almost twice the size. and it didn't fit. What I mean. Now I don't know how it managed to swell up. And yeah, oh yeah, you tell me, and I'll definitely try and get the train down. Yes, it's over full, Heather, and I don't know how it all got fitted in the little room. Because the little room has now got my finished garments in it and my own woolies, and that is full too now. So I don't understand how things have like. I've bought extra, but I haven't bought a massive, massive whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I said to somebody, I can't put anybody up because I've got no spare bedroom. And they said, oh, just throw a few packets of yarn on the floor, put a sheet over it, we'll sleep on that. It probably does, Esther, but I don't care. I'm just a rebel with my diabetes. I'm just one of the naughty ones that doesn't do as they're told. I won't say I'm getting away with it because I'm not, but yes, chocolate milk and the chocolate I ate before, it does mess with my diabetes, yeah. I'm still in the I don't care stage. I don't want to. Yeah, I need a TARDIS, yeah. I would really. Oh, I wouldn't worry about a dirty stitcher, you know. It's a lot of it is controlled now by tablets, yeah. No, I've not got to the insulin stage yet. I've just been naughty on the tablets, yeah. If I actually did what they're supposed to do, I would be miserable if I ate what they tell me to eat. And my attitude is I'm 72 now, so you know what on earth, you know, maybe I'll go tomorrow anyway. So why should I just be miserable for the rest of my life, you know, eating something horrible? Yeah. I don't drink sodas really. I drink fizzy water, but I do have to put a little bit of sugar-free cordial in them, you know. I drink a lot of that rather than, you know, these are just, I don't drink these all day, for example. I might have one or two a week. But yeah, I don't eat as I should eat. I don't, you know, and I know I don't. But I always get told off. But life's too short, isn't it, to eat? Yeah. Yeah, I know, Diet Cola. I always say I only drink cola if it's got dark rum in it. Well, that's what I was drinking yesterday, and I drank too much of it. Yeah. Eat dessert first, yeah. My dad always tells me the story of when he was in the war, that they had one plate kind of thing. And if they'd ate their dinner, they were supposed to go and wash it to get the pudding put on. And he said the water that they were supposed to wash it in was like horrible. You could imagine like about 30 people, you know, kind of washing the dishes in it. So he used to have his pudding put on the same plate as his dinner. And he said he got used to having custard running into his mashed potato. You know, he got used to it, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the funeral I went to yesterday, the lady died with cancer. It's just not good. Not good. Uh, I've lost quite a few of my mum's family through it, but they've all had different kinds. So you can't say that it's like a one thing, you know, running through the family. It wasn't one kind of cancer, it was all different kinds. So, you know, when people say, have you suffered with this or anybody in your family suffered with that? And I have to say, well, it was this, and it was this, and it was this, and it was that. Yeah, but they're all different. I mean, cancer's cancer, isn't it? But yeah, yeah, I lost my aunt and my uncle with lung cancer, but oh, hi, Katrina. But they were, how can I put it, a bit silly. They were one of those, if it was National No Smoking Day, they would smoke more and more and more. And, you know, if somebody told them not to smoke, they would smoke even more cigarettes and stuff like that. And, oh, good night, Croft Angel. If I could choose how I passed, I think I'd rather just have a heart attack and go boof, you know, so I didn't know anything about it. My one scare is a stroke, because I would hate to use the use of my arm and not be able to do my crafting, because I live for my crochet, and that's it. Yeah, it was a very, very good friend I went to the funeral of yesterday. It was very, very sad. She was only 48. And yeah, I didn't put anything on Facebook or anything at the wishes of the family, so that's why I didn't tell anybody really that who it was or what it was. They didn't want me to do that, so I didn't. But some of you might have already guessed who she was, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're loving the spring weather. We're supposed to be having a heat wave next week, and I'm just going to believe it when it arrives, yeah. Hi, Susan. Yes, I do tend to crochet different things. Our summers are never that warm, so it's not very often that it's too warm for me to crochet. It might be too warm for me to crochet outside when it's hot, but it isn't in. I tend to crochet cotton things in the summer, cotton tops and things like that, you know, in the summer. Yes, Kelly's gone off, but yeah. She's still getting her headaches, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I do find crocheting better than knitting in the summer, because your needles get all sticky and your hands go squeaky. And oh gosh, that's terrible. Your grandma holds grudges. Sounds a bit like some people I know. I worked with a lady one time, and she was going on and on and on about Irish and something or other, and how they hate the. And my dad said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And she's going, "Well, in 16 something or other, they did this, that, and the other to my family." And my dad's saying, "Well, we're in 2000 now, you know." What has it got to do with now? Yeah. Yeah. How can you hold a grudge against anybody who's died? I must admit, I was angry with my dad for dying, you know, and kind of leaving me. Now it sounds very, very selfish, but I'm not too sure about that. I always think our double knitting is very similar to your three weight. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody who's used both kinds can tell you that, Cheryl, but I hold certain grudges against my ex-husband, but that's just a long time ago, and I'm not going into it now. But um, oh, that's so cute. I think they're not going to have it on prescription. That was just a joke, I think. But Oh, thank you, Julia Zinia. Yeah, I haven't said anything, like I say, in deference to the wishes of the family. They didn't want me to announce anything on Facebook or um, on YouTube because there still are maybe certain members of the family who don't know yet. Yeah. No, that's why I don't worry because I always think I'm not going to waste my time worrying. Um, when I see my ex-husband now, I bore a lot of grudges against him when we first split up, but now it's just like looking at somebody that I once knew. I don't look at him and ever think that I ever loved him because he's just like almost a stranger to me now. He's like, yeah, he's the father of my son, so, but I don't have any feelings towards him at all. It's just like a friend, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I try not to think about any kind of political things, so I try not to think about Syrian attacks, so I just do the crochet. Yeah, definitely they help. They help me to. This is why I would dread ever having a stroke or anything that incapacitated me. I mean, I couldn't knit I couldn't knit or crochet for about 6 or 8 weeks one time. And oh, I was just miserable, absolutely miserable. I cannot just sit there and watch the TV. I just get, oh, I'm just got ants in my pants. I'm just walking them all over the place. I cannot sit still. It just drives me crazy. Even if I have to sit for an hour or something in a hospital, I've got to take. But crocheting, I find, is easier to transport. You know, if I'm going somewhere because I knit with long knitting needles, so you know, it's sort of a bit antisocial, especially if you're knitting on a train or you're knitting on a bus, and you know, you sort of whiz your needles up in the air. Yeah, I'm with you, Nerdy Stitcher. A long time ago, I decided I used to get terribly upset by everything that was going on in the world, and I decided just to stay. I know it sounds very, very selfish, stay within my own little world and my own little family. Um, you know, that's what I do because otherwise you just get stressed up about things that you can't control. And yeah, there are certain newspapers and TV channels. I think that they want to scare us, scaremongering or whatever. I'm not saying that they're not telling the truth, but I just think that they give it a different slant sometimes. You know, they want us to get angry. They want us to, you know, they want to rile people up against each other. And I oh, you one up on me. I can't use circular needles at all. Yeah. No, I tend to avoid. I cancel the newspapers. I don't have any newspapers anymore now. Because they do. They try to incite hate, and you know, it's always this is going on and this is going on, and yeah, I definitely would rather be an ostrich. I'd rather not know. Yeah, I can't knit with circular needles. I can't knit with anything that's down in my lap. I can't knit what you call free. I can't knit free. My tension goes all to pot, and it's very, very uneven unless I've got one needle anchored. I'm like Ephraim. Ephraim knits that way. Yeah, I've stopped watching the TV news now and I don't read it. Yeah, you know, I just if I have to face it one day, then, you know, that's what I would have to do. But I don't, until I have to worry about it. Yes, I've got a knitting belt, Marisa. Yeah. It doesn't help me. I keep thinking I would try to learn continental, but when you've been knitting since you were a kid one way, it's hard at my age to try to swap to, you know, continental knitting. Yeah, I've got a knitting belt. I'm not sure where it is. It's in one of the drawers behind me somewhere. That's the only way I can knit socks, yeah. Oh, I don't trust anybody in the government. They're all, I hate to say this, but they're all liars, aren't they? I don't trust any politician. I don't mind the local ones that sort of have things to do with where I live, yeah. I have crocheted socks, but I found that they were a bit uncomfortable. But, you know, the ridges on them. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm the same. I'm starting to hate politicians because I'm beginning to believe that there's no difference between any of them. That whoever it is, they all, I don't know what there is about them today. I like the old politicians that used to be, you know, the ones who talked it over first and they're not so trigger happy. You know, it's almost like they're wanting to start trouble and they're wanting to start. Well, my favourite crochet magazine always used to be Interweave Crochet, but then it went right off. So the one I like now at the moment is Inside Crochet is my favourite one at the moment. Oh, for God's sake, what have we got now? The twits are coming out again, I see. Yeah. Oh, I've not heard of a hero hook. Yeah, crochet socks are easier than knitting, but I like the flatness and the sort of smoothness of knitted socks. Yeah. Yeah. Why are you shaking? There's nothing to be shaking about. We're just crocheters on here. We don't decide anything political, so you're all right with us. Get your crocheting out and smooth down a bit. Get yourself a nice drink. Yeah, if I drank tea, I would say that. But yeah. Miney, I was smiling at DOY Creation 7. She was going, oh, I can't do this tiny crocheting. I can't do with this. And it wasn't even a small hook that she was using. And it wasn't even that thin, her yarn. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Yes, I'm an English woman who doesn't drink tea. And Zoe is an English woman and she doesn't drink tea. I know it's not preventable, but you can try and calm your mind a little bit and we'll just think about crochet. If you take your mind off it, maybe you'll, you know, stop panicking quite so much. Have I ever crocheted earrings? I tried it once. Oh, hi, Jenny. Do I drink diet soda? Not usually, no. Oh, you're putting together the craft room. Jennifer has just moved house. So life consists of bags and boxes at the moment. And so if you could all run round to Jennifer's and help her unpack everything. Because she's in a bit of a mucking puddle, as they say. She's excited to get a craft room, I think, aren't you, Jenny? She's got a room the whole width of the house upstairs. Yeah. Finally, she's got a craft room. Woo! I have thought about craft bombing it from time to time, but it doesn't belong to me. It's kind of a rental through the mobility. So I don't think they'd take it too well if I sort of stuck stickers all over it and did things. I was thinking of doing something for the basket, actually, just do that, trim the basket bit up and put a bit of trimming that I could take off, yeah. But they're coming to do a service on it. So that means unless it breaks down, they won't see it again for 12 months. So I could decide. Well, I've been in this house 50 years and I'm still trying to work it out where things go. And I always put my hand to the left when I go in the kitchen for the light switch. And I've lived here for 50 years and the light switch has always been on the right-hand side. So why do I go in the kitchen and go to the left for a light switch? Because obviously the light switch is supposed to be on the left-hand side in my brain. How old is my house? 1930. When did the war start? 37, didn't it, I think? Yeah. My house was the last house on this block that was built before war started. So it's about 1937, something like that. The houses further down my street are earlier than that. They're probably 1934, 35, yeah. How long have we been on? 2 hours, 12 minutes and 25 seconds we've been on. Yeah, I've been here, lost the husband, and kept the house, yeah. Yeah, you'll have to get a little craft party going there, Jenny, and invite everybody around. Yours is built in 1914, that's even. Yeah, there's no trolls in your cupboards, no. No boo-boos, no. Yeah, I know who you mean, yeah. Yeah. Jenny and I have I won't say a mutual friend. She used to be a mutual friend who's accused both of us of trolling her. Which is very funny because we don't follow her anymore. So how can I be a troll? I'm a troll, foldy roll. I'm a troll, foldy roll. I'm a troll, foldy roll. And I'll eat you for supper. What do you think about it? Some of the childhood songs they used to sing to me were a bit scary, weren't they? Yeah, about this little goat going clip, clop over the bridge and the troll sitting underneath it, saying, I'm going to eat you for supper. And I'm there trying to go to sleep. Yeah. And that one about there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. And then she swallowed a spider, didn't she? Then she swallowed something else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when the bell breaks, the baby will fall. That's supposed to make a baby go to sleep, is it? Falling off a tree, you know. I mean, none of ours were. Even Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall, yeah. And the woman with all the kids in the shed. Yeah. Humpty Dumpty fell in so many pieces that, why don't we have nice nursery rhymes? I mean, even Ring a Ring a Roses is supposed to be something to do with the plague, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, okay, I've been told that before. I should read bedtime stories. But the funny thing is, I always watch my video through before I upload it. And the other night, I fell asleep listening to myself. So I can understand how you all feel. I was supposed to be watching the video through to make sure I didn't make any boo-boos and mistakes, and I fell asleep. So you're right, I do have that kind of voice. When I can't sleep at night, maybe that's when I should record myself, listen to myself on a tape or something. You might love it, but yeah, we don't say ashes in the UK. We say a tissue, because that was supposed to be like how the plague started with people sneezing. So we don't do ashes all fall down. We do a tissue, all fall down. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what you called ITV or whatever. Yeah, yeah. We don't say ashes. We say a tissue. We all burn. We all fall down. Yeah. They're all dead. Yeah. I mean, you sing them to a baby when it's trying to go to sleep. Honestly, I keep trying to say ITVSK. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll say goodbye to you anyway. I am rubbish with names, so you can tell me all your names until Kingdom Come, and I'll still forget them. You know, I keep saying that I've got a brain like the washing machine when it's on spin cycle. Uh, well, I bet that was fun. The songs that she sang you, this German lady, yeah. Now I just learn to accept the fact that my brain just does what it feels like. I keep passing my Alzheimer's test, but so I can't be that bad. But I'm getting very forgetful. But I just put it down to my old age. I don't worry about it. I think if I start to worry about the fact I'm getting worried about having, yeah, that's when I would think I was going to do Lally. Yeah, we must meet up when you're coming down to London. I hope I can get down there. Germans are Swiss. I've not really had. I don't know many people who are German or Swiss. As I say, I came from a little sort of villagey type place where they were all a bit insular, not quite to the fact where they married cousins or anything like that, but they were all a bit. They were all a bit. No, old-fashioned is the word I think I would say. Oh, I've got plenty of childhood stories. I had a very varied childhood. Yeah, I mean, being brought up in cotton mills is like a thing in itself. You know, people say, You were brought up when people wore clogs and they wore shawls, and yeah. I like there's a pub near us called the Sparking Clog, and everybody was going, "Oh, that's a weird name for a pub," and I go, "Well, Sparking Clogs is when they used to wear clogs on the feet that had irons on the bottom, like a horseshoe, to stop them slipping and to stop them wearing out because they couldn't afford new shoes and that. So they would have new clog irons put on the bottom of the shoes. And of course, when they were, yeah, iron, yeah, like horseshoes. Think of horseshoes, yeah. And when they were late, because if they were late for work and if the whistle blew, and the gates used to shut when the whistle blew, and if they were 1 second late, they had to stay outside for another hour. Yeah. So they used to run like crazy, like to get in before the whistle blew. And if it had been a bit icy, the clogs would strike sparks as they run, yeah, along. So that's where sparking clogs come from. It's just, and I remember shawls. Everybody used to wear a big woolly shawl with a fringe round it. And if it was cold, it was round the head. They used to wrap it right round them. Yeah. So maybe that's why I like shawls so much, because it reminds me of my childhood. They didn't have coats because they were too poor to afford a coat. So they just had these shawls made out of big, thick blanket things, yeah. Yeah. I never had any clogs. My mother and father refused to get me any clogs because they wanted me to be different, like to their background. Obviously, you want better things for your child, don't you? And so I never kind of was allowed to have any clogs. I had tap dancing shoes, which was quite a different thing. Yeah, they were shoes with metal bits on the front, but that was just for tapping. You had taps on the heels and taps on the toes where you did tap dancing. But my thing was ballet. I used to love the ballet. And that's why I have little feet, because I was put into block shoes before my feet had properly formed, and that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. The practice blocks were leather and wood, with wood in the toes, but the proper shoes, you did for exhibitions, they were pink satin, and you had to darn the ends to stop them wearing out. You had to darn the toe things with pink cotton, and it stopped you from slipping, when you were on your points, and it also stopped the shoes from fraying and wearing out. Yeah. Oh, I did all that. I mean, think I was only a little girl. I had to darn my own. No, I did point shoes from being too young, really, too young. But I was quite good at it, and I went down to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and I was supposed to go. I was accepted to go down to RADA when I was 11. My mum didn't want me to go because I was only 11 and it was in London. And I was so thrilled. And we went down to to the RADA, and because I've got a short toe on my right foot, they didn't pass me on health grounds. They said I wouldn't, my feet wouldn't be strong enough because I hadn't got all like the 5 toes. I'd only got like 4.5. So they rejected me, and I was heartbroken for ages. But I don't think I'd thought about the implications of going away from home. Yeah. Um, I probably wouldn't have liked it. I was just so thrilled. I hadn't thought any further than RADA and going and living away from home. It was like going to boarding school, really, wasn't it, I suppose? I hadn't thought that bit. I just wanted to be a ballerina. And I mean, I couldn't have been a ballerina because I damaged my knee when I was, about 12, I think I would be. And after that, I couldn't dance because I'd taken all the cartilage out of my knee. Picture of me in my younger days. I'll show you one time of me being a ballerina. I haven't got any photographs around at the moment down here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, reading. I was an avid reader. I used to have the TV on, a book open on the arm of the chair, because we had an old-fashioned sofa with very wide arms that you could balance a book on. And I'd be knitting at the same time. And my dad used to come in and say, "What are you doing? Which one are you doing? Are you reading? Are you watching the TV? Or are you doing your knitting? You can't be doing all 3 things at once." And I'd be saying, "But I am, Dad, I am watching all 3 things at once." My ballet teacher was so sweet. She was so lovely. She'd been a ballerina and she was so dainty. And oh, I mean, she must have been well in her 30s when she was teaching me, but she was so poised, so lovely. Yeah, I love the old chairs where you had a great big massive arm on them and you could put your dinner on it, couldn't you? You know, and eat your dinner on the arm of a chair. You can't do it anymore on these modern ones. Oh dear. I had my mum's sofa when she moved house and couldn't fit it in. And it was so old fashioned. It was like really um, cream with like embroidery on it and that. And it had fringe, you know, around the end. And my cat just ruined the whole of the fringing. And then he clawed all the chair, you know, and ripped all the chair. So reluctantly, I had to get rid of it. But my mum had it made for her, and because she had back problems, it was very, very firm, and it was very high up. And I used to love it because it was just the perfect for me to crochet and knit. And ever since then, I've never had a sofa that's been right. They've always been too low for me. Yeah. Somebody was supposed to be putting little feet on the end of my sofa to raise it up, but they never did. You know, it's one of these. About 3 people have promised to do it. I did, I think, yes. And it's on the wall over there. Yeah, I hated it because my mum had put my hair in a perm and it went like, she obviously didn't know how to do hair and it was just too bushed out. So I hate that photograph. No, my ballerina teacher she was really great, yeah. My mum was very, very hard working. But to the extent that she didn't really have time for her children, and I'm not saying that in a nasty way. In her way, she was providing for us by working very hard and um, just to try and get us out of where we were living and get us into the first shop we ever had. And it's hard to say. When I say she wasn't loving, it was the fact that she never put you on her knee and cuddled you and did all these things. But she always made sure we had food and we had, you know, clothes and that. We didn't have a lot, don't get me wrong, but you know, the only things we ever got in life were really through my mum's hard work. And she wore herself out and she brought me up to always be that way. You couldn't sit still, you had to be doing something. You weren't allowed, you know, you had to be, your fingers had to be busy. You had to be either doing your homework, knitting or whatever. You had to be doing something or doing housework and that. You couldn't just sit and watch TV. She'd no time. Devil makes work for idle hands, she used to say. She wouldn't let us sit there and do anything. And sometimes I wish she'd have been a softer lady in many respects, you know, a bit more cuddly, a bit more. But my dad was the one. I mean, he worked very hard. Didn't come home till 7 o'clock at night, which was my bedtime. But if my mum was working, which she used to do what they call the housewife shift, which was like 5 till 10 or 6 till 10 in the evening, I would be at my grandma's until my dad came home from work. And then my dad would be in charge of putting me to bed and things like that, you know. And of course, my mother used to say, "You never washed my face properly or anything," you know. But my dad was the fun one. My dad was um, the one who told me stories, the one who sat on the end of the bed and, you know, sat with me and told me stories till I fell asleep. And that he was the one who gave me the affection. Was my father really? So I was more. I know it sounds horrible, but I was more devastated when I lost my dad than I was when I lost my mum. Um, she just had a funny way of showing her affection. That's all I can say. You know, she did. Well, you come into the wrong place if you want advice about religion, love. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about crocheting. Yeah, I don't think she was. Oh, good night, April. Yeah, my mum. I think it was her upbringing. She was one of the eldest ones of 16 children, and she had to bring up the younger children. So I don't think that she knew how to show affection. It was always work, work, work. My mother literally wore herself out. She did, honestly. I mean, when I was younger, people used to say, "Oh, God, you're so like your mother. You're always doing, doing, doing." This is why I can't understand the way my house is at the moment, because my house used to be spick and span. Not a thing out of place. It used to be lovely. But now it just looks like the hoarders have moved in, you know. I've got so much junk everywhere. But it's hard for me to do it now. I mean, I don't want to go on a health kick. Yeah, we always had to turn the TV off if anybody came to visit. My mother wouldn't allow us to have the TV on if any relatives came or anything. TV used to go off. It wouldn't matter if it was a serial or something we were watching. It could have been the last 5 minutes of something like a whodunit, but we always had to turn that TV off. And yeah, I was the same. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Don't interrupt, yeah. Or little children should be seen and not heard. Yeah, that was my mum's favourite words. So, yeah. What on earth is all this stupidity? Honestly, is it that time of night when they're all coming out? All these weirdy ones. Don't count teeth. What's that? Yeah, my mother used to have some really funny. Yeah, the trolls are out. You're right there. My mother used to have some really funny sayings, but you do find yourself trotting them out, don't you? That's how they come down into generation to generation. Although I think it stops with my generation. I don't think the younger ones are passing things on. They don't have this. I don't know. We had like how can I put it? Rules that we had to adhere to. They were unwritten. They were, yeah. Susan, I don't really kind of like to go on about my pain or what's going on with my life, because I watch a few channels and they're going, oh this and oh that and oh the other, and I'm thinking, I don't want to hear. I really don't. I've got my own set of problems, and I don't. No doubt, most people who watch me have got their own set of problems, and I don't think they really want to know. Yeah. Bye, Donna. I like the way that my family were in the cotton mills, and whenever they were talking about something that they didn't want the kids to know, they used to do what they call the memoing. My dad used to call it memoing. In other words, he used to talk without saying a word. It was all that. As if we couldn't follow. I think I learned to lip read when I was young because I always wanted to know what they said. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit like that, Susan. I get up in the morning and I'm full of rise and shine, and I think, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this today, that today, the other today. And I hoover, vacuum about half of the one room. And I think, oh, this is when I sit down now. And the hoover can stay in the middle of that room for a few days until I get around to doing it again. Yeah. But I get annoyed sometimes. I mean, I hate housework now. Didn't used to. I never loved housework. I don't think anybody can really say they love housework. But, it's like this. I keep putting my finger on this and I go, oh, look at that. There's a bit of dust on that. I mean, at one time that would have been wiped down and hoovered down every week, It would have never, polished and everything like that. It wouldn't have been left like that. I can't remember the last time I spray polished that wood. You know, I do occasionally like run my finger on it. That's my way of dusting it, is run my finger across and go, get rid of the dust. But I think that's the hardest thing for me as I grew older and had all these problems, was realizing that I couldn't do these things and I needed help. And when people used to offer me help, I would say, no, I'm fine, I'm okay, and all this jazz. And I've learned now, when somebody says, oh, you know, I'll help you with that, and I used to say, oh, thank you. That was one of the hardest things I had to learn, was to say, oh, thank you for doing it for me, like, you know, thank you. And just sit there and let them do it, you know, because I still felt guilty, and I still do feel guilty that I'm sitting there letting them do it. It's like watching somebody else work, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I would like my house to be neater and tidier, but yeah, I actually hate it in a way when some people do it, because they just want to throw everything away. You know, when you get somebody who goes, you don't need this, you don't need that, you know, and I'm going, I'm like that hoarders, you know, well, let me have a look at it, let me do it on my own. Yeah. Hi, Denise. Have you been out for a meal again? You better late than never. That girl's always gadding about somewhere. It's Denise, Cheryl. She's called Denise. It's like the old joke, isn't it? Denise, what's it? Denise the nephew, yeah. Did I start my crochet? I didn't. I don't know whether Denise did, but oh, it's Denise, yeah. Yes, I used to do my mother-in-law's cleaning and everything. I used to clean up after my dad when he was unwell, because my mum was 80 something and she was in a wheelchair. Yeah, I've done my stint at looking at other people, and looking at for others. Yeah. Um, I think I like my mum. I think I should wear myself out. It's just I'm taken after my mother, unfortunately, with this spondylosis, ankylosis, is it called? It's a form of osteoporosis. Our bones are turning to chalk, but they're just crumbling away. And I still swear that a lot of it is we've worn ourselves out, but for me and my mother. Because when we worked in the shop, we were up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs, up and down the ladders, up and down everywhere, you know, lugging great big bags of yarn about, wool about. They used to come in massive, massive big bags. And I used to be taking them up the stairs, you know, to the stock room. And people used to say to me at the time, oh, watch your back, watch your back. And you're going to regret it later. And, you know, when you're in your 30s, you think, nah, load of rubbish, you know, and you're dragging these heavy big bags up, yeah. And you don't think. It's like wearing high heels all day long, every day, at work and everywhere. People used to say, you regret that, you regret that. And I do now, because they throw you back into a funny shape and they turn your knees funny. Yeah, but I thought I was the bee's knees when I was about 20, 30 years old. With my straight skirts on and my high heels, but I was a lot slimmer back in the day. You don't think about what you're going to be like when you're sort of in your 70s, yeah. I like babies when they're sort of more coherent. I'm not very good with brand new babies. They don't seem to like me. If I pick a baby up, it can be sleeping. And the minute it gets in my arms, it starts screaming the living daylights out of everywhere. But I'm a whiz with anybody that's about 12 months old onwards, yeah. Babies that age and upwards love me. But little babies, no, they don't like me at all. No. I guess I'm just not maternal that way. Oh, you're going as well, are you, Jen? Yours is still asleep. Yeah, it's 10 to 12 here, not 1 in the morning. We must be an hour before you. So we'll say good night, Marisa. We've still got 42 people in here. That's not counting the trolls. But Cheryl's been a dab hand at going, choop, choop, get rid of them all. Oh, my own didn't like me very much when he was little. He used to scream the living daylights out of everywhere. My friend used to pick him up and he used to shut up immediately. And my mum was the same. My mother only had to pick him up and he'd go, and then I picked him up. I don't blame you. Don't clean. Tomorrow's another day. That's what I'm saying anyway. I was going to clean today, but it just passed me by. Yeah, that's the way I like the babies now, from a distance. I don't think I had that maternal. I think it's my mother's genes that came down through me. My house isn't quite like Hoarders because I can walk from room to room. I haven't got the pathway, you know, like they do in Hoarders, where they can just about walk, can't they? Or they have to trample over things to get past. Not quite like that. I can actually walk through, you know. But I'm not saying that's not what the cupboards and everywhere else looks like, you know. And my craft room definitely looks like the Hoarders at the moment, yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll keep on bashing the trolls, yeah. Oh, dear. Well, night to you, Cheryl. Thanks for your help with the trolls. Who else wants to be a spanner? I've lost my spanner. Yeah, I have to have another spanner in the works, yeah. Can't be on my own. No, I give you the spanner. You can have a spanner. You should have a spanner now. Any minute now. I'm sure you should. Yeah, you should be able to do it now. You should have a spanner next to your name, but I don't know why you've not got one. Oh, there you are. That's Cheryl's telling you what to do. Oh, you've plenty of time, Denise, yet for your babies. Right, there you go. When you look, if you move your sort of pointer thing over to the side, you should see 3 little dots on the right-hand side. And if you click on them, it will give you like different instructions. You have to click on somebody's name. I don't want to click on your name because I don't want to hide you. But if you click on the name that comes up and then you go to the right-hand side and there's 3 little dots, you click on one of those dots and it'll give you some options what to do. You can hide the user, you can put him in timeout, you can do whatever you want. It's just the ones with a spanner, Jen, here. It gets confusing if the too many people have got spanners because everybody jumps in and tries to block them or whatever, and they're jamming each other because the spanners are jamming the spanners, if you know what I mean. So it's better if there's just 2 or 3 people in the chat room. You can have a shout out, Christian, only if you're a crocheter and you're not going to be rude, yeah? So we'll give you a shout out, yeah? Yeah, a span as an admin, yeah, yeah. Well, it's under people who come along the side and say rude things that that I'd kick them out, yeah. Just the rude people who are not part of our little group here. That's the way I like my babies now, Denise. I like the ones I can give back. Oh dear. Your first shout out. Oh, bless you, Christian, yeah. As long as you're a good boy and you don't start saying anything rude, then we don't mind you staying and listening. Your own will be different, Denise, when you get your own. Even I, who have no maternal instincts, had a bit of maternal instinct for my own child, yeah. Yeah, we don't mind anybody joining us as long as they're not rude, yeah, because we've had some very rude young men in at the moment, yeah. Oh, well, you're lucky, Susan. I've got 8 great-grandchildren, and I don't have anything to do with them, really, so I can't really say how I'd be with them. And I only had one child. That wasn't my choice, but I couldn't have any more, so... Yeah. I only had one child and I spent the rest of my life tired. Oh, you live in England? So do I. I live in Manchester. I think we're all scattered about all over the place, all over the world here. Mm-hmm. I absolutely adore my nieces, but they're grown up now. One's got children, the other one chose not to. So... Yeah. Mine's almost 49 and he still stresses me out, I tell you. Do I know what? No, I don't know, love Christian. I don't know what it is. You're obviously a younger person than what I am. When people are with it, well, I'm without it. I've been without it for several years now, dear. I'm a great grandma, so you can tell. I just about know how to switch the internet on. Well, yes, we prefer it when you try not to be rude, yeah. I don't know what it is, love, no. Yeah, you don't stop worrying. I try not to worry about my son now because, he makes some decisions that I don't agree with, let's just say. But I've learned now just not to say anything because he's old enough and big enough and daft enough and he makes all his own. Oh, bye, Christian. He makes his own decisions, doesn't he? And I try not to worry about anything. It is hard to stop worrying, but you can't interfere. He's got his wife now and, he's got his life. He's got his stepchildren, his step-grandchildren. And, I just go, oh, you came back again. That wasn't long, was it? So when he does anything now, my ex-husband will say, have you heard what he's done next? Have you done? And I say, look, it's got nothing to do with me anymore, Whatever he does with his life now, that's his decision and his wife's decision. It's nothing to do with me. I mean, I'm not one of these interfering mothers who sticks their nose in, telling him what to do, because I wouldn't have welcomed it if it had been my mother at that age telling me what to do. You've got to learn by your own mistakes, yeah. And that's the way I feel. So I try not to go when he says something to me that sounds really weird and wacky, you know. I just go, oh, yeah, fine, is that right? Yeah. Oh, I don't say I don't worry about him, sure. I do worry about him, but I've had to take a back seat because if you interfere too much, then you put your daughter-in-law up against you, don't you? And then if your daughter-in-law starts to not like you, then your son disappears because he obviously takes notice of his wife, doesn't he? Because that's their marriage, isn't it? He's not married to me. He's, got a wife, yeah. Oh, yeah, I had to learn how to keep my mouth shut. I mean, they have lived with me at periods of time when they'd been between houses and things like that, when they came back from Spain and that. So there were times when I really had to just keep my mouth shut. I mean, don't get me wrong, my daughter-in-law's not horrible or anything like that. She's just, she just does things not my way, if you know what I'm saying. I've just had to, learn to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to interfere between him and his wife. Because it hurts my son. If I upset his wife, it hurts my son. Because she takes it out on him. And so I just go and walk away if she says something that I really, really don't like or something that could be taken two ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, she doesn't insult me or anything like that. But sometimes she says something and you think, right. Why do you want us to say your full name, Christian? I'm not your mother. I don't shout you in over the fence. I'm not your school teacher. Right, Christian Crandall. Yeah? Does that help you? I don't know what he wants me to say his full name for. Never mind. All right. As long as you're a good boy. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. You've got one daughter-in-law as an angel and the other one as a spawn of Satan. Oh, you're 15. Well, I could be your grandma then. Or more than your grandma. Could even be your great-grandma then. I hope I'm not the wicked mother-in-law. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Elisa. You got to make the beds before bedtime. I do a lot of procrastination. That's my middle name, yeah. It's like the bag linings we're supposed to be sewing. I'm determined to do them this week. Determined to do them. And I've got to go to the post office on Monday because, yay, I sold a sweater. So I've got to take it up to the post office, yeah. My mother-in-law was the example of how I never wanted to be. So when my son got married, I was determined to not be like my mother-in-law. It's been hard at times. It's not been easy, I tell you. You know, you're moving to the US, are you? Oh, that's nice. You're leaving us all. Uh-huh. I've made myself mellow down when my son got married, yeah. I just, just had to. Listen, I don't like cooking anything. I'm useless. I used to cook when I was younger. I think it's lack of practice. I mean, now I just haven't cooked for such a long time that, I mean, I'm so lazy. At one time I would cook, you know, a full roast dinner and everything like that. And I said to myself when I retired, I'm never going to stop doing this. I'm always going to cook for myself, but you just get fed up when there's only one of you. You know, it's just, in the US, the time's 7:02. What, in the morning? Depends which bit it is. Oh, they have different time zones, don't forget. A chuck roast. What's a chuck roast? Is that like our braising meat or? Yes, yes, my sewing machine is back intact again. I've got my shears and I've got my pinking shears, so I've got no excuse. Chuck can be chicken. Yeah, we call it a chicken over here, a chuck chuck, yeah. Yeah, I've got no excuse, Jean, for Jeannie. Is it Jean or Jeannie? For not doing my, except procrastination. Oh yeah, yeah. A chicken over here is a chuck or a chick, you know, whichever. You couldn't find any more streams better than this. Oh, good, I'm glad we're the best one on the block. Yeah, you see, your braising is different than our braising. Our braising is slow cooking, like with a bit of water or something in the bottom, you know, to make the gravy. I get confused because we do grilling and you talk about grilling as like it's on a barbecue outside, and I don't know whether. Do I know guava juice? I don't like guava, if that's a drink thing, a fruit, isn't it? Yeah. I've got a slow cooker, but I don't cook it that often because I don't buy um, big joints of meat, obviously living on my own now. Hello, Anita. Hello, stranger. Uh, a chuck roast is, yeah, it is a cheaper. We call that, oh, what do we call it? Oh, I can't think what we call it. Brisket. We call it brisket. Ephraim, no, he hasn't. I did have a little chat with Ephraim the other day on Facebook, but he hasn't been on YouTube. He, yeah, Anita, yeah, I haven't seen you around for ages. Don't know where you've been. Probably the kids, isn't it? Guava Juice, the YouTuber, no, I have no idea who that is. So, oh, I love Ephraim, yeah. I love him to death, but he's just not around much these days, yeah. He lost his Crojo or whatever, and so he wasn't crocheting or knitting anything, and oh, got to watch Guava Juice, ever. Right. But yeah, I do miss Ephraim. I need to go over there while he does my hair. He probably dye it purple or something. He twerks. I thought twerking had gone out of fashion now. Yeah, Ephraim. I mean, Jenny, that's just gone off, she's doing her craft room. She always says that he always says, "Oh, this so quick I did this," and she said, "There's a fabulous old cable and everything on it," and he just goes, "Oh yes, it's so easy. I shouldn't know about twerking. The only thing I know about twerking is when they shake the bottom about. So, is that a different kind of twerking? The kind that what do you call it? Did what's she called? Not Taylor Swift. I don't know. Oh, I'm so without it. Denise, help me out. What's she called? The one who did the twerking, the singer. Are we all too old for everything like this? Got the value. Oh, Ross smells a good. Smells good guy, isn't he? Yeah. Any new yarn? No, I don't have any new yarn at the moment. No, trying to be good. Nicki Minaj, yeah, that could be her. Oh dear, I'm so without it. It's untrue. When I used to watch Top of the Pops, when that used to be on, um, then I used to be a bit more who was in and who was out. But yeah, Ross is smells good guy, is he called or something? I think he is. Ross. I have a phone, yeah, but mine only makes phone calls. Well, if it doesn't do anything fancy. I don't have one of those super duper phones that you can sing and dance and does everything. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I had one. Yeah. No, I'm sure you're not trying to be rude. No. Was that Nicki Minaj who read Hello Mentally? No, I thought that was. Oh, I don't know. See, I'm not with it at all. I don't know who these people are. Piccalilli, mustard pickles. I do eat them on a sandwich with some roast beef or something like that. I obviously don't eat them on their own. But you don't have any in Alaska. Yeah. It's Piccalilli, I think, not Piccadilly. Piccalilli. I know the Mona Lisa, the painting, yeah. Mustard pickles are they can be onions or pieces of cauliflower and things like that when and they pickle them in obviously vinegar and stuff with mustard, and that makes them into mustard pickles. Miley Cyrus, was that the one who did the twerking here? Yeah, achy breaky heart. Oh, that thing when it got in your head. It's oh, Branston pickle. I love it. I love it. How old am I? Well, you shouldn't really ask a lady her age, but I'm 72. Pickling? No, it's not an English British thing. I watch a YouTuber called Happenstance. She makes pickles and she cans all the vegetables from out of her garden that she grows, and then she can use them in the winter time when the fresh vegetables are not there. Yeah. Oh, bye, Brittany. You've still got an hour to get to the US. What do you mean by phone? I don't think she pickles the vegetables from her garden. I know she puts them in, like cans. She cans them. Um, Oh, the British baking show, yeah. I don't bake, so I don't watch it, but it's very, very popular over here, the British baking show. I don't think it's called the baking show over here. I think it's called the British Bake Off or something. Yeah, if you ever watch Happenstance, she's called her Happenstance Place. They have like a garden all round their house where they live, because they don't live in town, they live a bit out in the country. And tomatoes, they had a bumper crop this year. So she was making chutney and she was making pickling these tomato things, canning these tomatoes, and she's been canning green beans, and she does apples and apple sauce and stuff. So what is going on here with these? How long will the screen go out? Or the stream? Oh, probably in about another half hour or so, yeah. Oh, the two fat ladies, yeah, on the motorbike, yeah. Yeah, I think she did chili as well. I like watching her. She does a daily blog. She does Happenstance Place. And oh, there's two channels she's got, yeah. No, I don't normally scream. I have been known to. I think that was when I was married. And I don't mean in that way either. I mean in frustration when he got on my nerves. You've been here for an hour, have you? All right. Yeah, Mrs. Brown's boy. She gets away with murder, or he gets away with murder, I should say. Some of the things he says, yeah. Yeah, my ex did. Yeah, he used to get me angry on purpose. Yeah, they're very near what we call near the knuckle. We call it. Yeah, that means it's a bit cheeky. Some of the little jokes he does, you know, because like they're more funny because we know he's a guy, you know, and people say things to. And I like the way they leave the outtakes in. They don't cut them out; they leave them in the show. You know, on one time she was stood at the kitchen window doing the washing dishes, and the camera came right through the window. Why are you going to the US in 57 minutes? Is it something you're going to watch in 57 minutes? Shouldn't you be in bed by now if you're only 15? Or is it weekend? Are you allowed to stay up? No, I think he's going to watch something on YouTube in 57 minutes. I think that's what it is. No, you're not going to live in the US in 57 minutes. You're still here, still at home. Don't think you're on a plane. Perhaps he's on some game or other when you know, I'm not with it with the young guns. Like, he was on a plane of an hour. Well, he wouldn't have got far. He was on a plane for an hour from the UK. He wouldn't even be anywhere near. It takes about 10 hours on a plane, doesn't it? I think to get from England to the UK, US. Unless you're on a virtual plane that gets there faster. Beam me up, Scotty. You're on a virtual plane, are you? Right. Oh dear. A Trekkie? Oh no, I'm not a Trekkie. I think there's always a Trekkie, I'm not sure. That's why it's so quick, because you're on a virtual plane, yeah. So where's your virtual plane going to land? I think he's playing an online game. You don't know where you're going to land, right? Okay. I think it's past your bedtime, Christian. How late do 15-year-olds stay up these days? I don't know. I know whatever time I told my son to be in, he was always 10 minutes late. Yeah. Mine, I don't know, because I don't use them. You'll have to ask Olkay why if they're tough on her shoulders, she's just started using them. I lead a wild lifestyle, do I? I don't think so. You can stay up till 4 in the morning and your parents don't care. I'm afraid I would have something to say to you, young man, if you were my child. Yes, I would. Especially if you had to get up for college or school in the morning. I know it's weekend, you're probably allowed to stay up a bit later, aren't you, the weekend? But I used to say to my son, what time is it where I am? It's 25 past 12. So, yeah, I used to say to my son, you can stay up to whatever time you feel like, but you get up for school in the morning, and I don't care what, you get it up. You're not staying in your bed and you're not missing school. So I used to be dragging him out of bed. I didn't mind him staying up late if he could get up for school, but if he couldn't get up for school, then that was another matter, yeah. You've gone through hell. Well, welcome to the club, love. We've never had an easy life, any of us on here. What's the weather been up to? It's not rained today, which is a miracle. Bit of sunshine, but not warm. Just dullish, but it hasn't actually rained, so that's whee. Temperature, I don't know, because I've not been outside. I've been a wimp today. I've not even been out to the bin. Are you having our heat wave down there, Denise, then? It's not right. I want my heat wave. I don't know what the temperatures are. No idea what it's supposed to be. Yeah, no. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to be a heat wave. Honestly. Yeah. Let me just see what the temperature says on my little weather thing. Weather. It says 54 degrees F, which for those of you who are in centigrade, it's 12 degrees. Mm-hmm. Yep. So is that cold or hot? Don't know. Next week it's due to warm up. I hope so. I want to get on my deck. Chilly, yeah. Well, it's It's not been chilly, really. It's been cold, though I won't call it chilly. It's not back to winter here. What, back to winter in the 70s? Or 51? Oh, dear. I don't do centigrade. I don't understand it. I have to go to Fahrenheit. What day is it? It's Sunday. Yeah, I don't like it when it swings from one temperature to another. One day you're wearing a short sleeve top because it's sunshine and it's warm and you think, oh, spring's here, summer's here. And the next day you need a sweater because it's blowing a gale and it's freezing. You can never lay your clothes out like, the night before. So this is what I'm going to. Yes, yesterday was Friday the 13th. No, the day before, because now it's Sunday. The live feed, I do them on a Saturday, but I did say I'm not going to do them every Saturday. Yeah, jacket in the morning, shorts in the afternoon. When I was at the funeral, there was a young couple there, and he said, it's a great way to spend our first wedding anniversary, isn't it, coming to a funeral, and on Friday the 13th. Felt sorry for him, really. It's not the way you were. Oh, good night, Jen. Enjoy your dinner. A good friend of mine. They don't want me to put it on Facebook or put it on YouTube, so I just haven't said who she is yet. My bones ache, yeah. What the heck are you going on about, Christian? I don't know who Jason calls out. Right, Virginia, nice to speak to you. There's some members of the family, you see, of the deceased who, I'm not sure, Denise. Some members of the family of the deceased who don't actually know yet because they haven't been in touch with them, so I haven't put anything on Facebook or anything like that. So maybe I will one day. Jason the Killer? What are you talking about, Christian? I've got no idea. You're obviously on a younger planet than we are. Yes, it was very sad, Virginia. Very, very sad. Oh, it's a movie. Right. Doesn't sound like my kind of movie anyway, Jason the Killer. I'm more the Sound of Music type of girl, really. Oh, horror movie. Oh, God, I hate those things. What is it with these younger people and these zombies and dead people and killer people and oh, it's a game, is it? Right. I'm not into games. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm an old person. Don't know about games and video games and stuff like that. I only watch videos if they're to do with Tunisia and Crochet or something like that. Oh, James, I understand you. No, you can't donate. Go to bed or something. God knows what he wants to donate, and I don't want to know. It's better not to ask sometimes, don't it? Well, I'm so glad, James, that you prefer knitting and crochet videos. Oh, yeah, you can donate yarn to every one of us, yeah. I turned down some yarn the other day. I mean, very, very nice of somebody to offer to send it to me, but I don't think they actually realise how much the postage costs from the US, to the UK. So I would feel embarrassed, if... Well, you keep it there, love. You need it for your education. But, I don't think she realises how much the postage is. So I'm not one of these people like some people are that are kind of, sort of, you hear them, don't you, kind of begging or something like that. Oh, goodbye, Christian. You're going for good this time. When they're sort of saying, oh, I'd love to have this, but I can't afford it and I've got to save up for it. And you know what they're angling for? They're angling for somebody to buy it for them and give it to them and things like that. I mean, I wouldn't do that, It's just so, I don't know. Oh, for goodness sake, Christian, go to bed. Go to bed. It's time for your bed. I'm being all granny on you now. Bed. You need your beauty sleep. Yeah, I did the whoop hand, yes. I did that. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Oh my goodness, you were like one of us then, James. We all get in trouble for having too much yarn. You can, whatever you want, Christian. I'm past caring, love. I've been nice to you so far, but it's time you went to bed. Your grandma has spoken to you. Go to bed. I know I'm old. I've told you that in the first place, dear. Now go to bed. Any yarn expos or yarn fairs around? Are you talking to me? Not in UK, yeah. Who is the admin to cut out trolls? You are. Good morning from Austria. Christian, you're going to have to go bye-byes. Well, that's not something that you should be proud of. Spanner you up. Right, Denise. I will do if my thing stops wandering around. Oh, you want to be a spanner, do you? I know you're like Jennifer. You're the bully in the high street at school. She'll be spannering everybody now. I know what you're like. Oh, Jennifer's got power. Oh, you meant the troll. They've gone now. They've gone now. I don't know whether you managed, but the troll's gone now. Yeah, his messages have all gone. Yeah, we've had enough of him now. I've been patient with him for so long now, but he's getting a bit annoying now. Hey, we got rid of him. He's only 15, but he's just... It's obviously time he was in bed at this time of night. You know, I mean, good grief. I know it's weekend, but he's getting a bit cheeky. Oh, God, my hair needs washing. Shower time tomorrow. I've got the weird fringe going on. You feed the trolls. No, we've had trolls all evening. Oh, you got to troll me back? No, you're not trolling me back. Well, a fashion statement, having the hat hair, yeah. Having the curly fringe that goes the wrong way. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. He was getting on my nerves now. I was trying to be pleasant to him, but he was getting a bit rude. Oh my goodness, I didn't speak out a term when I was growing up. My mother would have beaten me backside, yeah. Right, Jennifer, have you done that crafty room yet? Can you all run round to Jennifer's and help her, please? Everybody round to Jennifer's. We'd all be there. We'd all be there, Jenny. I'm open to live to be 95. I just want to be a cantankerous old, bee. So many years being pleasant, and then when you get past 90, you start being a crabby old lady, yeah? A party at your house, yes. I know your kind of party. Here's a box, unpack it. Yeah, I know. I've heard about you. I'm having a party at my house as well, in the craft room. Oh, Denise, you're lightweight. Uh, I haven't done any crochet or anything today. All I've done is done part of a chain. You're practicing to be a cranky old broad? Well, yeah, we're allowed to be when we get a bit older. Bye-bye, Denise. Oh, that's so nice of you, James. Yeah. That's what we aim to do as YouTubers. And I'm not just saying me, I'm just saying YouTubers in general. That's what we do, is we like to provide inspiration. I mean, so many people are like loners, and they think they're the only person in the world that's sitting there with a crochet hook or knitting needles. And especially if you don't have any friends who knit or crochet, and you feel like you're I mean, I did before I started doing my YouTube. I felt like I was the only person in my little section of the world. And and believe me, Jennifer that's got a black heart, yeah. At times. I know she's a sweetie, really, but the image she likes to portray is like, Hulk. No, I mean, I think it's nice in the crochet community when they've, I think just recently, I'm not talking about before we had that big sort of rally thing where everybody was mentioning everybody else, and it was so nice, and we all really got to know each other by mentioning each other's names. And but I do think like that we have a superb crochet community by and large, yeah. And oh, you like me, you started at 5. And I just think it's so nice for people to be positive to each other, you know. And you know, you get the odd one, you get the I was talking to this with Randy today. Like, if we don't get the thumbs down, we wonder what we've done wrong, because, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a, you know, a thing. Oh, hi, Jackie. You know, when you don't get the thumbs down, you think, oh, where are they? Are they okay? Are they ill? You know, because I've got a serial thumbs downer, and so has Randy. And, you know, we just wonder, oh, my God, what are you coming back again for, Christian? Go to bed. Told you. Oh. Yeah. I think you're right, James. If you live in a small community and you're the only person that's a knitting or crocheting, especially as you're a guy as well, you know how hard it can be. We've got plenty of guys who are on YouTube that knit and crochet, and I think it's so great, you know. I don't think there's anything wrong with guys who knit and crochet, because there's quite a lot of really good guys like Crochet Dude, and there's a few others, isn't there? Can't think of the names and that. Him that does the crochet crowd, Mikey. You know, but yeah, I think it's nice. Oh, he was just getting on my nerves a bit. He should be in bed anyway. He's only 15, for goodness sake. Yeah, hand-me-downs. Yeah, Gerald is he called? Gerald. Yeah, he does a lot of nice crocheting, doesn't he? I watch him. And is he called Spider? So Fiber Spider. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's Fiber. Oh, hi, Brittany. Yeah, we've got quite a few guys, haven't we? We've got Smells Good Guy, haven't we? We've got, yeah, got quite a lot. Crochet Dude doesn't seem to do many. He's actually, Turbo Knitter Ken, yeah. Crochet Dude started doing videos on how to sort of tidy up and, you know, things like that. Well, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, dear. Which one of you made me sneeze? Come on. I'm just trying to think of else guys I watch. Oh, Sock Mortician, yeah. I don't watch him much because I don't really knit socks, but I'm just trying to think who the guy is who does the oh, Cody, yeah, Cody's lovely. There's also a guy in Scotland, what's he called? The Beardy Shield. Don't know whether you ever watch him or not. He does a lot of knitting as well. Yeah, Kelly's not doing any videos at the moment. Not because she's not doing videos full stop, but she's not doing videos at the minute. Because of her headaches and different things. Until she gets herself sorted, she's giving it a break, yeah. Yeah, there's another guy who used to knit and crochet too. I can't think of his name. He used to do cartoons. He did a book, didn't he, as well, with little cartoons in them. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. I used to watch his blog, and he always used to do this like sheep. It was a sheep. It got quite famous, this little sheep. Do I ever grow roses? No, I haven't got a green finger. I can't grow anything. Everything dies when I look at it. I've got a gardener now. It sounds awfully posh, but it's just a lady who trims my lawn. Yeah, he's called Beardy Shield. Yeah, Beardy Shield. Yeah, the guy in Scotland. He does a lot of beautiful lace knitting and that because he gets all this fine stuff. I could kill a plastic plant, you're right there. My daughter-in-law came in the other day and she says, "What have you done to that plant?" Hi, Ruth. Yeah, we've watched that. Watched that video about that guy, yeah. With my luck, I'd get a garment that had been, you know, sort of, what do you call it, overlocked at the sides, and he wouldn't be able to undo it. He must have to pick, you know, unpick it with an unpicker. They must be sewn together. and not knitted in one piece and, you know, cut and stitched. I can't think of his name. I love roses, and I love I even kill lavender, and nobody kills lavender, do they? Yarn shops in Manchester. There are some very, very dear one called Countess Blaze that only sells hand-dyed yarns. The other shop is what's it called now? Abercarn, but there really isn't any good yarn shops at all. If you don't mind acrylic and stuff like that, you could go on Berry Market, which is Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And there is also a little shop in the actual sort of area of shops in Bury as well. But Manchester, no, it's pretty horrible for knitting. I love lilac trees. Oh, you definitely have to bring your wool with you, James, because there's not a lot to choose from over here. That's why I buy all mine online. Abercarn's not bad. They do have a selection of yarn, Abercarn. And of course, I mean, Countess of Blaze has some absolutely beautiful yarn. But we're talking like, what, 16 to £30 a skein in there. But it is beautiful, beautiful yarn. Oh, your fern crumbed. I didn't touch it, honestly. I even killed a spider plant, and you know, they're virtually impossible to kill them things. Oh, it's a beautiful shop to look in. Absolutely gorgeous shop, but it's too expensive. Yeah, the bloke on Berry Market is he has a lot of stuff that is like plain labelled things, James, but it is mostly acrylic he gets. But he does have some cotton. Yeah. It's hit and miss with the bloke in Berry Market. You can go sometimes and there's nothing that you would like, and then you go another time and there's quite a lot. Yeah, I had one spider plant and I kept it for it was my mum's, and I kept it for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden it just died. And I've been giving everybody these baby spider plants for years. You know, it kept throwing these things up. And then suddenly it just decided to die. And I was really upset because it was my mum's spider plant, you know. I still got my mum's, I think it's a money plant or something. I still got that, yeah. Yeah, James, I mean, Abercarn is worth a look, but I don't know whether they sell. They do sell quite a few branded things in Abercarn. That's on Oldham Street in Manchester if you get there. Oh, that sounds nice. Is it free postage within Australia? Berry Market is quite famous. People come on coach trips. I always remember a friend of mine. Um, she'd lived in Manchester or Bury for years, and she just moved. And one day they decided to go on one of these mystery trips. And the mystery trip finished up at Berry Market. She said, I felt like I was going home again. No, I mean, but that's over towards Warrington. Um, My niece usually takes me up to Bury sometimes, but I haven't been for quite a while up to the market. Well, I've been trying to be on a yarn ban, but well, while knitting public, I'll go sit on my wall outside on the garden. Knit on my own, and my neighbours will all think I'm completely crazy because I don't think any of them knit or crochet. Yeah, I find a lot of knit clubs now are changing a bit. When I used to go to one knit club, I was kind of like the only crocheter that was there, you know. The rest of them were all knitters. And I hate to say it, kind of snob knitters, you know. There's me knitting my, crocheting my acrylic. I don't care. If I'm in a situation like that, I kind of get a defiance, if you know what I mean. It makes me more, not defensive, but makes me more like, I don't care, and I do it more to aggravate them because, they didn't like acrylic. And I would sit there knitting and crocheting away there just to bug them, really, I can be like that sometimes, yeah. An old train depot or depot. I don't know, Brittany. I'm out of the loop. I'm sure Nerdy Stitcher knows when it is. It's usually a bit later on in the year, isn't it? Around about June or something. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Oh, June the 9th, yeah. No, I'm not going anywhere particularly to knit in public. I'm not going to sit in the park on my own doing my knitting. I don't know anybody else who knits or crochets around me. There's only Kelly, but she's got the kids. Sue'd be working. She's quite a way away. Christina's quite a way away. So there's nobody I know that's really near me that actually knits and crochets. Oh dear, I'm getting tired now. It's 1 o'clock, near enough now. What, do a live stream on Knitting Public Day? I might do. Depends what day it is, yeah. Yeah. Well, people, I'm going to go in about 5 minutes because my eyes are starting to close now. I'm starting to yawn. You've got to go and get your husband now, you. I hope the baby stays asleep for you. Oh, the days when you had to creep around when your baby was asleep. Oh dear, can't remember those. My baby's 49 in January. I think. Is he 49 now? I don't know. Right, Jean. Is it Jean or is it Jeannie? Never quite sure. Is it just Jean with an E? Like Anne with an E? Or have I been pronouncing your name wrong all evening? Oh, kid tantrums. Oh, they're great, though. Oh, it's just Jean, yeah. I didn't know whether to call you Jeannie or Jean. Oh, Jeanette, yeah. Oh, we had this conversation, didn't we? Because I get called Janette. I'm not Janet, I'm just a Janet. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know where Jenny's gone. I think she's disappeared into her craft room. But I'm definitely I'm yawning. Now I've got indigestion. So I think it's definitely time to go because I can feel my eyes going to sleep now. Thank you, okay. And I'm still waiting for your email. I'm sure I've got your wrong email address, you know, because I sent you a couple of emails and not got them. Oh, sorry, Jackie, I forgot you were there. You've been so quiet. Yeah. Right, give my love to the boys, Jackie, and the girls as well. And I say good night to everybody. If you're still there, James, good night to you, and you're welcome to come and join us anytime. Oh, you sent one last Monday? Oh, I didn't get it. No, I didn't get it. That's weird, isn't it? No. You've not been getting my emails, and I'm not getting your emails. That's strange. Weird. No. Yeah, I'll check the spam folder. You're right there. I haven't checked it for a bit. I must have a look. See, it's not in there. But you didn't get my last two emails, so I think there's something wrong with our communications. When do I do the live video, Jackie? It's normally about 9 o'clock on a Saturday when I start doing one. Until I fall asleep. You drain your iPad. Yeah, well, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. So I'm not naming you all one by one, or it'll be like the Waltons. So I don't understand. Okay, we'll have to have another try. We'll have to have another try because I definitely didn't get your email. Yeah. So bye everybody. I'm going to go now. So hope you've enjoyed it. Bye now.